So welcome back to the Rock Fantasy Files tonight. It's a very actually somber day again. We did a couple somber episodes. I did my own last week, of course, talking about Ozzy. We're filming this at about 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night, and of course, most of us saw the funeral procession this morning. It was tough. It was tough. I was a sad day. I was sad at work, even just my wife and I watching that this morning. But this was James that talked last week how he wanted to do a ranking of the Ozzy solo albums, and I thought it was a good idea. Probably going to be a pretty long episode, but it's timed well, and we're all mourning the loss of the great Ozzy Osbourne. And tonight we're gonna all hang out together and talk about Ozzy and talk about his albums. I've invited a couple special guests tonight. Of course, I'm going to introduce everybody. We got Tommy Desko. No, we've got Steven Desko. I got Tommy mixed up. I got Steven Desko from the Sabbath Supertzars. He's also the lead vocalist from the Land of Oz. He kind of looks a bit like an Ozzy doppelganger. If you've seen him perform, you know he puts on a great show. I got Tommy Cap here, the drummer from Into the Void, also the drummer from Sabbath Supertzars. Also was one of the drummers in Sabra Cadaver, so going back in the So we got some. He actually put his T-shirt on. He was going to pull Bill Ward and go shirtless when he started.
Hey, did you guys play BB Kings back in the day?
Of course.
Yeah, I saw you maybe 10, 15 years ago at BB King's. Good show.
Absolutely.
And then we got the one and only Crazy Levy here tonight. Of course, Crazy Levy has been on the channel back in the day quite a bit. He was just on a couple weeks ago. He got grilled by the one and only Chris Allo because he attended the Back to the Beginning show. So if anybody has any questions about that tonight, of course, he can answer them.
Awesome.
And then we've got our regular crew tonight. We got James, who is our host tonight, because he's going to hang out and do the whole show. I may disappear at some time because I've had a long day and a long day coming up tomorrow. But got Count Ralphus, our resident metal guru vampire. We got our resident Viking from Norway staying up all night, Ovi. We got Ed Farsley from Armageddon Productions. He's about a month away from his big show in New York City. I just heard from Denny Barth tonight. He's having merchandise shipped to my store, and he's staying at Steve Levin's house. We got Miles of Metal from the Southland. He's down there wrestling alligators, all that shit, and coming on to talk with us tonight. We got Christian Mariano from Connecticut. We've got the mighty Tony Dio in the house. So we're here to talk about the top. Well, they are not the top 13, but there's 13 studio albums that were done by Ozzy. We are including the Undercover record that came out in 2005 tonight. And a few of us are going to give our top 13 altogether. But I think once we're done, James is going to get the crew. And what are you guys going to do, James? You're going to go around twice?
Yeah, we're going to go from 13 to 7.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go from 6 to 1.
Okay. So, of course, I think Steven is still working on his list. So maybe I'm going to kick off with Mr. Crazy Levy. Since he went to the Back to the Beginning show, he was there to see what became to me. I was at a film last week. I mentioned it when I came on. I was watching a movie and the movie was over, and then I put my phone on, and first I looked at Facebook, and you don't know what's real and what's wrong with Facebook because there's so much AI, and someone had posted that Ozzy had passed away. I'm like, yeah, sure. Well, we've seen this before. But then I noticed I had about 25, 30 text messages while I was at the film, and realized he was gone. And then when I was walking out of the theater, I said, that made that concert just that more epic and that more history making. To me, it could be the most historic metal concert ever with the situation that we were in, that Ozzy got to say goodbye to everyone, put on a performance, and had all these other bands there and raised so much money for charity. It had to make him feel good, even though he was feeling so horrible. And who would have known it was going to be just a few days later we'd lose him? But I wanted to add that first. So, Levy, of course, you were there that day. And what do you think? Do you relate with what I said from someone that was there in person?
It's been an emotional roller coaster for all of us. I feel like we were all there. I mean, everybody was either there or watching on the stream or watching the highlights afterwards. It was special to be there, but for anybody who was watching it, I think it was special. And I feel like you do. I never would have thought that this would have happened. And I had the same. I was actually at the Garden scouting out for the Ghost show that night. And I started to get some texts, and I thought people were fucking with me, but same as you, I saw that it was real. And it didn't really hit me till a couple days later. I actually got a little teary-eyed at work, I gotta say. I'm sure some of you guys also probably shed a tear or two.
Oh,
it's our whole life. We don't know a world without Ozzy, and now we do. And we're gonna persevere, we're gonna rock on, we're gonna power through it. And I think it's fitting that we're doing this today when the day they put Ozzy into the ground. And we all really did say goodbye to him from afar and from near. But it's nice to be talking to you guys. And, we're just going to keep this thing going for ourselves, for Ozzy. Drink him if you got him. Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy. God bless him.
Cheers.
Let's get down to business, shall we?
Yeah, you can kick it off, my friend.
All right. I'm kind of going to do what these guys are doing. Smoke one for me, Sabbath Supertzars. And where I kind of group the bottom Ozzies a little bit together, the ones that he always had some good singles per album, kind of like the Stones in the 70s. There's always something good. But I would kind of put your Scream towards the bottom. It's a bit of a mess. But I like the Scream song. Used to see it at football games. Black Rain's got a couple good songs. He really wanted us to know that he wasn't going away and was not going to stop on that album. And I think that was true. It was nice having Zach back for that one. Osmosis, I'd kind of lump that in there with those ones. I gotta say, probably had the weakest of the Ozzy singles. I never really latched on to Perry Mason too much. If you disagree with me, that's cool. Lizzie Hale covered it at the show, and it took me a little while to actually. I was like, she's not doing an Ozzy song. Nah, she's doing an Ozzy song. What's the other one I would put in that group? You got Black Rain, Osmosis, Down to Earth, Black Rain, Scream. I'd say is bringing up the rear. The two new ones, I don't know how you guys feel. Maybe a little too soon to kind of rank them. We've been listening to all these other albums forever, but I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with this one as my number. I guess this would be 7 or 8. I kind of lost count, but I like Black Rain. It's a good record. I like the Elton duet. I was a little disappointed. I thought
that was that you're actually holding up Ordinary Man.
That's Ordinary Man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I meant. Ordinary Man. I'm sorry. I kind of was hoping that Elton would stroll out, Sir Elton, on that day in Birmingham and do that one. But he did show up on the screen, so Elton was there to say something nice. And honestly, I don't think, maybe I was in denial. I don't think we realized what kind of shape Ozzy was in. What a struggle it really was for him to do 9 songs for us. People were getting kind of greedy, I will get 7 Sabbath songs, we'll get 5 Ozzy songs, but I think he really went above and beyond, so I can't complain. But I do like that album, the Scary Little Green Men. I like the production. The only song I really don't like is the Post Malone song that Ozzy's like hardly on. I remember I was taking a nap or I was passed out, and I was like, what am I listening to? And I had to look at it. And then the next one I would go with of the new ones, I really do like this Patient Number 9. Immortal, the first song on here, that's great, and it's very fitting. It's kind of taken on a new meaning this week. I like the Tony Iommi songs. There's a couple of those. I had no idea he was even on here until I bought this thing. And I was listening to the record and I was like, it sounds a lot like Tony. And sure enough,
the Degradation Rules is a really freaking
that one.
That could have been on, to me, that could have been on like 13.
Yeah, it could have kind of spiced things up a little.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys feel that way, but it's too bad they couldn't have gotten Grammy on. It did win a Grammy, right?
It won a Grammy, yeah. A song about masturbation won a Grammy. How great is that?
if you'll excuse me, I've got to take care of some business for that one. Really like No Escape From Now, the other one, the other Tony Iommi song. It's a good record. It's going to take us a while, I think, to see what we think of those. But I think they fit really nicely in the middle of his catalog. I think they have a lot of spirit, a lot of life. He sounds great. I mean, I don't know, what kind of trickery they might have done, but he really does sound great. And the production is good. And the vinyl at least sounds fantastic for both of those records. So that's going to kind of get us over towards the meat of the order, which is the 80s and 90s. Great time for Ozzy, great time for heavy rock, great time for metal. And, I kind of group some of these together basically by time, and it just kind of works out that way for the ranking. I'm going to go with, for number 6, I'm going to go with The Ultimate Sin. Didn't like this one when I was a kid. The first album I bought was No Rest for the Wicked, and then I backtracked to this one. I kind of worked backwards, and I didn't really like it back then. But I bought it during the pandemic. I bought this record. A guy was selling it on the street, and I really kind of got into it. It's like the songs, they're maybe a little similar to each other, but they have they kind of the guitar work is great from Jake E. Lee. They're really peppy. I guess I would kind of go with Lightning Strikes, Never, Ultimate Sin, Never Know Why, and Secret Loser. I'm a huge fan of Shot in the Dark. It's kind of 80s cheese for me. But I know it was a hit, so he always had to play it. And at the concert, I think one of the super groups did it, and Lizzie Hale sang it. Or no, the bald guy from Disturbed. Yeah. In between,
he did Shot in the Dark. Yep.
Yeah, he did it, and it came off good. But I remember turning to my friend. I was like, I ran off to the bathroom for that one. Okay, the next of the Jake E. Lee. We're going with number 5. Bark at the Moon. I'd say a little bit notch better than. I kind of struggled with these two, but I listened to them today back to back, and I would say this is the better one. Even if maybe there's not as many great tracks. The great tracks, Bark at the Moon, Now You See It, Now You Don't. I've heard 2 different things about that. Maybe some of you Ozzy experts can tell me. I've heard it's about Sharon, but I've also heard it's just about hiding the sausage. So I don't really know who to believe on that one. I guess I could see it being about Sharon. Now you see it, now you don't. He was getting kicked out, fired, and rehired for a decade. He was taking it like a man, like Ozzy says. So I don't know. Good album, cool cover. It's funny, my big sister, I sent her to the record store, Waxy Maxie's in Silver Spring, Maryland, to buy this for me in junior high school. And she came back, she's like, I can't believe you love that satanic devil wolfman rock. Now it seems kind of silly, but it's a cool cover.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Now we're getting to my top 4 already. Yeah, top 4. All right. I got slightly better than Bark at the Moon. A lot better, actually. And this was the first Ozzy album I ever bought. No Rest for the Wicked. I think you're always going to kind of have a soft spot, for the first one. I'm sure we'll see some of that with you guys. But this is a great album. A lot of great songs on it. Miracle Man, Devil's Daughter, Crazy Babies, Bloodbath in Paradise, Demon Alcohol, Returning to the Alcohol Well. Great album. Bob Daisley's playing bass on it, helping to write the songs. And I really like the cover. I had this poster that I think I got from Spencer's Gifts or something hanging in my room for years. So I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I'm going to go with number 4 for this. And like I said, these are kind of grouped together. You got the 2 new ones. You got Bark and Ultimate Sin. And number 3, it was tough between this and No Rest, but I got to go with No More Tears. And again, a fresh listening. There's just hardly any filler on this one, which is, in my opinion, rare for an Ozzy album. A lot of them have some filler here and there. This one's was a great way for Ozzy to get into the 90s, the Clinton era. Zach was even better. It kind of has some country influence. The tone was amazing on the guitar. The songs are really good. And I think, when grunge came around and all the hair metal bands died, it's like Ozzy didn't go anywhere. And I think this had a lot to do with it. It just kind of, everybody liked this album, and it kind of weathered the whole grunge thing because it was awesome. Favorite ones on this, I like, and Lemmy writing the lyrics is cool. I like Mr. Tinkertrain, open the album with an ode to a pedophile. That's a good move always. I like, of course, No More Tears is awesome. There's 3 killer ballads on this thing. It was kind of the era of the ballad. What do you got? You got Time After Time, Mama, I'm Coming Home, which I'm sure you're all sick of this week. And what was the other one on here?
Road to Nowhere.
Road to Nowhere, which I've heard that a million times this week too.
Right, another great song, and Randy Castillo playing drums. They had a really good band for these 2 albums.
Oh yeah,
and great album. This is not an original. I don't know if this even came out on vinyl. I bought this a few years ago.
Yeah,
maybe
it
not
did, but they're costly.
In America, it came out.
Yeah, they ain't cheap.
Yeah,
even the new No More Tears is an expensive piece.
Yeah, and this is a double album. I know they sound better, but I kind of like it when they just keep it on one, like originally. You know,
me too.
No Rest for the Wicked, I could just flip it over, listen to the whole album.
I hate it when they're double records too. Like that.
It's like watching The Godfather on Laserdisc, you know. But all right, number 2. Now we're getting to the obvious ones. I do have it, but I forgot to add to my pile. I'm going to go with Blizzard of Oz for number 2. Part of it is, you know, it's a great album. And it's his second best album. I think most of us would agree, but I'm hoping there's some curveballs thrown our way. But, you know, in my opinion, there are some clunkers on it. I don't really need to hear Revelation, Mother Earth. I don't need to hear Goodbye. Oh, they're turning away in disgust. I don't need to hear No Bone Movies. I could live without Goodbye for Romance. And as great as the songs are, you know, I'm kind of sick of fucking Crazy Train. I mean, how could you not be sick of it? But Mr. Crowley, I will never tire that song. From the keyboard with Don Airy. And, you know, I saw Deep Purple a couple times, and he does a little keyboard solo, and he puts that in there, which is actually pretty fun.
He did last summer when I saw him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He plays fucking.
I'm glad to know he's doing that, because when I saw him several years ago, I'm going, you know, he had a little bobblehead of Ozzy sitting on his keyboard. And I'm like, he should throw in the Mr. Crowley riff, because everybody doesn't realize that he's the guy that played it on the album. You know, a lot of people don't realize that.
And Tony Ozzy, he probably wrote it, right? I mean, everybody.
Actually, I always thought he did, and maybe didn't get credit, but I heard Randy wrote that melody and then he just transcribed it over to the keyboards.
Oh, maybe hummed it or played guitar. Yeah. You don't mind if we call you Tony Ozzy today, do you?
Yes, Ossie, like they spell Ozzy on the
like Live at Last
album. Yeah.
All right, and number 1, y'all know it's coming. I bought this for $5 at a secondhand store 10, 15 years ago. It's Diary of a Madman. Every song is killer. I don't think there's a clunker on the entire thing. I'll let you guys run with this one and expound on it a little bit, but I love this album. I mean, even the songs that have been done to death, you know, Flying High Again, Over the Mountain. I love Believer. I mean, Ozzy's like vocal melody, he doesn't get enough credit for that stuff. And I mean, if you need to hear what Ozzy does for a song, even though people maybe think he didn't write this or he didn't, listen to the original. And I just saw this last night for the first time on YouTube. The original Junior's Eyes with Dave Walker is on YouTube. Listen to that, and then listen to Ozzy's Junior's Eyes, and see what Ozzy does for a song. And it's, I think, really underrated part of what he did. But yeah, this fucking album, if I had to have one Ozzy album, this is it. And my favorites, I'm probably going to go with You Can't Kill Rock and Roll. Fitting for today and this week. Tonight, which I think might be Ozzy's greatest vocal performance. You feeling it, Tony?
Yeah, love that song.
You know that breakdown part where he goes, you know, I'm feeling 3 foot tall. You don't understand. I'm faded away. Yeah. The first time I heard that with the headphones on, and so I hope I didn't get you one of those DCMA things.
Maybe not.
But
you did that pretty well.
Levy sings.
I was feeling it, man. I was feeling it. You know, we've all felt that way sometimes. You know, people maybe don't see it, but it's like, and even if Ozzy didn't write the lyrics, I know he wrote some of them, and Daisy wrote a bunch, but he was feeling it, and he sells that. And I feel the way he was feeling, and I understand where Ozzy was going. And his cover is kind of weird, but great album. Every song's a masterpiece. And Diary of a Madman is one of the coolest things he ever did. I mean, That song is just amazing. And, God bless Ozzy. God bless Bob Daisley. Bob Lee Kerslake. And of course, Bob, God bless Randy Rhoads. And hopefully they're putting together another masterpiece up there for us. And that's my ranking.
Well, thanks, Levy.
Killer.
And
Awesome.
I guess we're going to move over to the drummer himself. He's put his shirt on. We're going to move over to Tommy Cap from Into the Void and Sabbath Supertzars. And they're playing a week from tonight over in Daryl's house. So if you're in the area in the Hudson Valley, please come out and attend. Now, I know Chris Allo already has a table. So
is this a private performance?
What's that?
Is this a public performance?
Yeah.
It's at Daryl's house. Which is
Daryl's house.
Pauling, New York. Yeah, Pauling, New York.
Yeah.
We started at 7 o'clock, man. 2 full sets. The best friggin' Black Sabbath you ever heard, man. It's unbelievable.
That's this weekend?
Yeah, it's this next Wednesday, a week from tonight.
Yeah.
August 6th.
Yes. We just did a pop-up show a couple days after Ozzy passed away down at Tom and Jerry's in Folsom, PA. And I'll tell you what, Steve and his wife Christy works for Clockwork Productions. They packed the place. Everybody went bananas, man. It was just it was a great show. We did 2 full sets there as well, and man, the band went over great. Everybody loved it, and it was a good feeling in the room for being so close to the day that it happened. And Steve made everybody forget and laugh all night, and just kick their ass from the microphone like he usually does.
That's a killer venue. Everybody should go out and see that show. I'm going to try to make it. Maybe I'll take the train up there.
You won't be sorry. I'm telling you, you won't be sorry. I saw the set list. It's fucking great.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
So Tom, what do you got here? What's your
Let me see.
favorite?
I'm gonna take about a quarter the time that my man Levy did here. I'm gonna go quick on this one because I know you guys got stuff to do. See, I'll go backwards. I'm kind of like Levy too when it comes to some of these later records here, the ones that just to me weren't really killer albums. I mean, like he said, there's a few one-offs on each record, a few good songs on each record, but just not hitting on all sixes. So maybe 13 would be like Scream, 12 Black Rain, 11 the cover record, only because I don't think I ever heard the whole thing, so that's my fault on that one. Number 10, I'm going to go with Ultimate Sin. Never really got into that record. I do like Jake. I think Jake's a killer guitar player. If you want to hear Jake at his best, listen to Badlands, because Jake really excels in the 3 Badlands records with Ray Gillen on vocals. 9, Bark at the Moon. Ozzy kind of lost me a little bit with the Wolfman and the whole thing. It just got a little corny for me at that time. 8, I think I went to the newer style, Ordinary Man. I think that and Patient Number 9 are 2 really good records. In between those 2, at 7, I put Down to Earth. 6 is Patient Number 9. They got a lot of great cameos on that record. Some really great musicians and great songwriting on it, I think. So I really like that one. 5 is Osmosis. 4, No More Tears. 3, at the time that No Rest for the Wicked came out, which is my number 3, I was playing in a band called TT Quick, a real popular Jersey band.
Wow.
And Eric, the drummer, who is an idol of mine, who recently passed away, the original drummer, Eric, he had to go back to New Orleans where he grew up for something was going on with his family. So luckily for me, I approached these guys and told them I know every one of their songs, offered them a couple $100 to fucking come jam with me. So Mark, who's now in Accept, Mark Tornillo is the singer, and Dave DePietro, who's a phenomenal guitar player. He taught Zach how to play guitar.
Wow.
And Zach, Mark, me, and Dave, all from New Jersey. So we were all excited that Zach got the gig in Ozzy. so we were really looking forward to that record, and I got to say, it definitely delivered. No Rest for the Wicked was just like killer. Everybody talks about Jersey with Springsteen and Bon Jovi. Fuck that shit. We're proud of Zach, and this record right here, man. At least I am. I really don't want to be known as from a state with those two coconuts. So we're gonna stick with No Rest and be proud of Zach. So yeah, No Rest is 3. Diary and Blizzard. I know you guys hate this shit, but I gotta call a tie. Because I really love both of those records with all my heart. I got Blizzard the first day it came out because we were all so upset that Ozzy, was out of Sabbath. But again, I thank the fact that we got the Blizzard of Oz and Diary records with Ozzy and Randy, and we also got Heaven and Hell and all those records with Dio, man, because it just gave us like 4 great fucking albums, man. And if Ozzy had stayed in Sabbath, who knows what would have happened, But yeah, I gotta say, it's if I was gun to my head, maybe Blizzard 1, Diary 2, but I really got to say they're equal to me, man. So that's my list. And
hey, Tom, real quick, you've got Osmosis pretty high up there. Do you want to sell that one on me? Maybe I should go back and look at it again.
James likes that a lot too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would have to say. Let me just look at that track list one more time, man, just for a second. I did this right before the thing, and I'm trying to see what.
A lot of this is what you were doing when it came out. I mean, you like Blizzard the most just by an edge. And again, that's, you're telling us you were there when it came out. I was 6. I don't really remember it. So
yeah, I kind of like Perry Mason. I thought that was a pretty cool song. And I think I had a feeling that he was talking about the OJ trial when he fucking wrote that song, because he was saying we need Perry Mason, like a really good lawyer. I'm probably aging myself.
Makes sense, yeah.
Perry Mason's a fucking old TV show, and I'm an old fuck, so I used to watch it. I can kind of see your point. There's definitely some clunkers on here, but I saw when I was looking at the tracks that song was on it, and I did like it.
And it's a Zach album too. So
of course, man, our homeboy again.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Right. I'm supposed to be working.
Cool, man. Again, I'm not. When it comes down to like the first 3 to 5 records on here that I rated, the rest of them are all a little bit blurry to me, and I really like the Randy stuff. I like a good portion of the Zach stuff, and I like the Patient Number 9 stuff. So anything else in there, it's just like I was actually shocked there was fucking 13 solo albums when you guys told me today. I was like, wow, man, I didn't believe that, and I had to see it for myself. That was surprising, But that's it. All good, man.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna wake up. Steven, are you awake? Our Ozzy Osbourne, is he awake?
I put him
right
to sleep.
here.
It's your turn, brother.
Oh, I didn't know it was up. Sorry.
So you got your list ready?
I'm ready.
So what do you got at number
You're
13?
delivering this in full Ozzy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You got to.
All right.
You have to.
I wasn't a real big fan of the Patient 9 and the Ordinary Man stuff. They're my 13 and 12, and I wasn't a real big fan of the Scream and Black Rain stuff either. I don't know. It just didn't move me too much. And I guess the Down to Earth, I don't know. I really did like that Undercover album at around an 8-ish or so. That was decent. And then let's see. What do we got? No Rest and No More Tears. They were entirely decent. I'm not trying to be real fast. Bark the Moon, I guess I have at number 4. Ultimate Sin, I have at number 3. Maybe because I was just in high school and I saw Queensryche open for the tour and Metallica with Cliff open for that tour.
Yeah.
And it looked like Ozzy and Jake were having a drunk contest and we lost, but it was mostly good. So that I have Ultimate Sin up at number 3, and I have Bark at the Moon. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. The Blizzard I have at number 2, and Diary at 1.
Okay.
From doing these records live, Diary you could split into a 2-parter with side 1 and set 1 and side 2 and set 2 in order, and it goes over like real symmetrically and beautiful. And Blizzard kind of falls off a fucking cliff because he got like all these mega hits, and then it's like, you looking at me, it's all this crazy shit at the end. And I played You Said It All off the EP. That song's fantastic. It's a soundtrack song.
Yeah.
I've done that one live. So as far as use value, I guess we're doing Ultimate Sin and Shot in the Dark now still. And both of the albums, the first 2 up top entirely, and then the rest we just kind of pick. Perry Mason we do play every single show, and No More Tears also. So I guess we just cherry pick the big ones. But and I thought like Bark at the Moon, I don't know. I have it up a little high because it's got some Bark at the Moon's phenomenal, and Rock and Roll Rebels good, but the rest of the album, it's a little uneven. I don't want to like lower that, but it's like a little bit like It's like I hold my nose and like the record a little.
I agree. A lot of filler on that one. And I go back and forth between that and Ultimate Sin, but you know.
Ultimate Sin, I have it like number 3. I just love Ultimate Sin. I just think it's so cool. The videos were funny. Killer Giants got a cool intro. I don't know. They got some really cool guitar work on that. Secret Loser was cool. I don't know. That's a really, I don't know. Maybe I overrate that record. I just think that's a fun record.
Nice.
Ultimate Sin.
Steven, when is Land of Oz's next gig? You guys got any things planned, or people that are watching want to check out?
We're Havana and New Hope. And I'm looking to probably resurrect the seal on the other side, possibly Dreamer. And we have done In My Life before. We've been together 11 years, so my catalog's pretty strong. Nice. Time after time we've done too. But I can't bore ass everyone, have everyone go to the bathroom if I do 16 fucking dead ass slow songs in a row. So I don't want to do any dead dog dedications like Casey Kasem, you know. Casey fucking upbeat numbers. I don't want to be ponderous.
Doing a fucking dead dog bit into a fucking down the upbeat number with the fucking.
He knows what you mean.
Where were those pictures I wanted?
Hey, I want everybody also to know that Sabbath Supertzars is going to start doing shows along with Land of Oz, and we're going to span Ozzy's whole career.
That's awesome.
So Sabbath Supertzars are going to do like from the first record to Never Say Die, a couple songs off each. Get off the stage with Steve singing, and then he'll come on with Land of Oz and start at Blizzard and work his way up. And it's gonna do the whole Ozzy catalog, man.
And
it's 2 checks for Uncle Steve.
Yeah, double pay.
Cool.
But that's December 5th at the Landis. Yeah. And at the Landis, if anyone's down in Lower Jersey and South Jersey, it's between Philly and AC's, the Landis Theaters in Vineland, New Jersey.
Nice.
Vineland, it's not so bad. And also we're doing Masters of Reality in order and a couple tunes, and then Obey Your Master is going to be doing a full Master of Puppets set. So we're going to go Masters of Metal show.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that's on August 16th. So we have a busy little stretch coming up.
Awesome.
We'll see your Daryl's on August 6th. That's the big one.
Next week. 1 week from tonight.
Yeah, try to make that. Even though it's a Wednesday, it'll be worth your while, man.
Yeah. So thank you guys for giving your time to the channel. And
thank you.
You guys can hang out as long as you want and put in some input if you want. And I guess I'm going to do my list, and I'm going to throw the ball over to James, and then he's going to kick off the regular Rock Fantasy Files tonight. So
right.
I'm coming in to do at number 13. I got Undercover. I listened to that quite a bit when it first came out. But the tracks that stuck out with me is I think I agree with Steven, is the 21st Century Schizoid Man. Freaking thought they did a wonderful. I thought Ozzy did a great job, and I'm gonna go with the song Fire, the Arthur Brown song.
Hey, whose song
That was
is
nice.
20th Century Schizoid? Who is that?
Crimson.
King Crimson.
King Crimson.
April
original.
Wine. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, speaking of Ozzy too, I was flicking through Amazon, whatever, you got all those live channels, came across the Bounty Hunter show, and my wife used to watch that, love that show. And Ozzy did the theme for
That's right.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Wow.
And that's on,
Yeah.
and that's on, I think, one of the Ozzy collections.
Prince of Darkness box set.
Yeah, it is. So
Count
James,
Ralphus got that.
yep.
Anyone
He's
ever
got it
see
right
Blue
there, yeah.
Suede Shoes? Ozzy did Blue Suede Shoes way back. You ever see that outtake?
Yeah,
I've
with
heard
Sabbath.
it's on
Sabbath.
YouTube.
Sabbath.
That's a
Sabbath,
good one.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good
I
YouTuber.
just wanted to
yeah.
mention that. I guess I'm coming in at number 12 with Ordinary Man. I really do love the song Under the Graveyard, and that the scary little green monsters or whatever. That's a great song too. But I had to rank it somewhere. But I might have put that a little bit higher up, but actually Black Rain, I got at number 11. I didn't listen to that a lot when it came out. Of course, I agree with a lot of you guys. They always had at least one strong signal on, like I Don't Want to Stop was a great song. I got the next one at Scream is of course Let Me Hear You Scream. I saw I pretty much saw all these tours. I would come around every year when he came around. At number 9, I guess it's not 10, yeah, number I'm losing my numbers, right? But the next one I've got down is Down to Earth. And I remember when that came out, that was like 2001. So that was
Mhm.
kind of around the Ozfest years, but I don't know if
Yeah.
he was doing like Sabbath on Ozfest, but it would go back and forth.
I think we
And
lost a Sabbath album because of that. They were kind of in the studio farting around with Rick Rubin,
yeah,
and I think he got bored and left to do that.
one of the songs that really sticks out on that album is Junkie. I really like that Junkie song. And
Good song.
then I'm gonna go with the next number down would be one of I know one of James's favorite, because we did 95 a couple weeks ago, and that's Osmosis. And Perry Mason, of course. I think it's a cool song. Did it make much sense when it came out? No, but maybe he was talking about looking at the OJ trial and thinking of famous lawyers or something on TV. And a song that really hits a lot of hearts, and I've had customers talk to me about it today. To See You on the Other Side right now, because he's on the other side and he's over there now. And that song is it's a classic, And the next song I'm gonna go down, I'm doing the newer album, Patient Number 9. I love that title track. I really do. And it's all about Ozzy being, he was saying it was about him being in the hospital. And I feel the same way when you go to the doctors now. You're just a fucking number for the most part when you go to one of these doctor groups. What number are you today? He's patient number 9. And No Escape From Now is cool. The Degradation Rules with Iommi, and I mentioned earlier, I thought that could have been on like a Sabbath album. I could have been on 13. And my next album is I guess it's number 6, would be The Ultimate Sin. Fucking title tracks, killer. The Killer Giants, Shot in the Dark. I think it's a strong album. We had Philip on the channel a few years ago during the pandemic, and we had a good episode. If you look back, Andrew Freeman brought him on, of course, and he was good friends with him from being in I think Philip plays in Last in Line at times, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had him
Great
on
episode.
like a week or two before we had Vinny Appice on. So back in the dark ages, but we had a lot of great episodes. So if you want to look back for that, I think we were talking to him and talking about Ozzy records at that time too. Number 5, I'm going to go with Bark of the Moon. Of course, the title track is epic. I love the song Waiting for Darkness. I also love the song Center to Eternity. Those are my 3 tracks from that album. Number 4, I think, is one of the strongest albums. It's the first one with Zach. I think correct is No Rest for the Wicked. I simply love Bloodbath in Paradise.
Yeah.
One of my good friends, Ben Worth, he just got his hair cut now, so he didn't look bad. I always said, man, you look like Charlie Manson. We called him a young Charlie Manson the last year or so. He'd be going shows with us. I'm like, and every time I see him, I just call him. I'm like, hey, yo, Bloodbath in Paradise, where you at? So, Miracle Man, Demon Alcohol. I think it was really good, strong album. That's the tour that they played here in Middletown on, actually. They played the Orange County Fair. Of course, last week when I got the news, I headed down to the fairgrounds because I was doing the Rock Fantasy concert series, which Into the Void or Sabbath Superstars should have been a part of. And the booking agent now realized that because I told them early in the year, you should have had an Ozzy or a Sabbath thing going on with the Back to the Beginning. God knows we didn't know we were going to lose Ozzy, but that night we had Iron Cobra on the stage, and Chris Caffrey came out, and then we did a nice tribute to. They did a nice tribute, and we all talked about Ozzy before we went on. That there he was at the fairgrounds and on that tour, and Chris came up and did an Ozzy song and did a Sabbath song, and we all bonded together that night at the fair, so it was kind of special. Where am I at? I am at No Rest for the Wicked. My number 3 album. I don't think it would have been years ago, but I No More Tears. I think it's I love the song No More Tears. I also love the song Hellraiser. And Zombie. Of course, you've got Mr. Tinker Train. You got the Mama, I'm Coming Home. You got the Road to Nowhere. It's just it was a big record for Ozzy, and there's a lot of songs that just stay. And of course, Mama, I'm Coming Home. I mean, it's become so epic now, especially with that song and how it's performed live. And there wasn't a dry eye. I mean, around, even people watching at home. I know my wife had shedding some tears during that. And wow, what a song, I didn't really, I was talking to a friend of mine. He usually would skip it when it came on. He goes, I don't skip it anymore. But I have probably heard that song more in the last month than I've heard it in my lifetime, because I've heard it a lot. Of course, last week after Ozzy passed, we were playing a lot of Ozzy and Sabbath in the store. And a lot of times when the store is busy, I will put on Sirius XM. So I had Boneyard on. I was listening to Jose Mangan when he was doing the memorial, not a memorial, but where everybody was calling in, people from different bands. And I had that on a lot and got to hear a lot of these songs. And of course, it was tasteful to have it on. And I dug out my Ozzy Osbourne from PNC Art Center. The last time I was going to ever see him was No More Tours 2. Dug this shirt. It looked old school, and I can't believe I fit in it, but I fit in it tonight. So here I am with my extra large shirt on. I'm gone down a size.
This hat is from that tour too. This hat, the No More.
You were there that
Tours.
night too?
No, I didn't go. One of my friends went and gave me a hat, but it's got the No More Tours 2 on the back of the volume 2.
It was a good night. I did not care for Stone Sour, the opener. I thought it was horrendous.
Agreed.
And it was like they had like blow up things like they put outside at like car dealers going on. I found it really cheesy. So sorry, Stone Sour, but wasn't a fan that night. Anyhow, I'm gonna go number 2. I'm gonna go with Blizzard of Oz for number 2. I mean, it's got great songs on it. I had to pick one or the other though. Suicide Solution, Mr. Crowley, I'll never get sick of. I love Revelation, Mother Earth. I think Levy didn't like it. And of course, yeah, you can be sick of Crazy Train, but if you weren't exposed to it like we were, and of course I was there in day one with these albums. I saw this tour at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center. That was the first time I ever saw Ozzy live. It was Ozzy and Motorhead. And Pete Pardo was there too from Pete's Channel. We talk about it quite a bit. And of course, Crazy Train, you've heard about every marching bands play it at fucking high school, at football games. You hear these marching bands playing Ozzy and Black Sabbath at college games. And
Pat Boone covered it.
Play it a lot of times when they're kicking off the football.
And you know, you mentioned Suicide Solution, great song. That was the one song I was kind of surprised to hear at the Back to the Beginning. Like, you know, I thought Ozzy would do 4 songs and he did 5, and it was awesome to hear him do that. And that's a fucking great song.
So my number 1 is going to be Diary of a Madman, of course. Over the Mountain. What a killer song. And you can't kill rock and roll. And even though Ozzy died, it ain't going to kill rock and roll. If anything, it's going to make it stronger, I think, because I tell you what, you got so much exposure of metal and everything else, and everyone that, even ones that didn't listen to Ozzy, that were fans of the reality show, and all goes around. And Believer, the song Sato, the song Diary, the track, it's just a killer record. And it was just last week, it was a tough week. And I want to mention someone else that just passed away. You got, most people won't know him that are watching the show, but anybody that went to Quinn's Pins would know this gentleman. The Glow King, Scott Doty, passed away last night. He was the guy that worked the front door, always dressed in a flamboyant, like, fancy shirt. And he made up little, I should have had one in front of me here, but I do have some in the room. He made these little glow statues, like everything looked like this room. So I loved it. It was a black light responsive stuff. So we called him the Glow King. He passed away yesterday. So Scott, I hope you're doing all right and you're up there with Ozzy or somebody partying right now or whatever you've been. I know that, you know, you were a big part of Middletown, big part of the Quinn's Pin scene when I was there. So I wanted to give you a shout out. So last week, of course, we lost Ozzy on Tuesday. You can boo if you want, you can hiss if, you know, but Hulk Hogan was gone on Thursday. Both of them had similar past because they both had reality shows. Then Ozzy's probably spawned his, but it was just 2 big entertainers, and it was like a back-to-back. And I had just met Hulk Hogan earlier in the spring. I met him in Middletown. He was out promoting his beer, and I walked in with my friend Ben Worth, and we came walking in the place with our hair down, and we're like, he's like, what metal band are you guys? And I'm like, Black Sabbath, man. And he goes, oh, I love Black Sabbath. He goes, Ozzy's doing his final show. I can't wait to hear that and see what's going on. And we talked a little bit about Tampa Bay Bucks football too, out of my Baker Mayfield jersey. And he says, we should have went further in the playoffs. So it was nice to meet Hulk, and God knows you wouldn't have thought he was going to be going that quick. The Miles of Metal, they should have went further in the playoffs. Oh no, look, he's got my flag. So anyhow,
they got
my time is up on this, but I just wanted to make a mention to
failed back surgeries.
He went in for neck surgery and things went
So
haywire.
both him and Ozzy had failed back surgeries.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's another connection there.
Well, hopefully
But
the
anyhow, I
Hulkster.
wanted to mention Scott and Hogan, and
they were both at
Ozzy,
WrestleMania too.
We lost Chuck Mangione last week too. We lost the other guy from Golden Earring. It's just nonstop right now. But
yeah,
Christian quiet at the Megalomart
right there. They were both at WrestleMania too.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
What'd you see, Tony?
I said things are pretty quiet at the Megalomark since Chuck Mangione has passed away.
Yeah. So anyhow, I'm going to kick this back over to James, and James is going to host the rest of the show. I might be here for a little bit, but I'm going to hop off in a little bit. And thanks everybody for hopping in tonight. And man,
thank you.
We love you, brother.
And you know, one thing I wanted to say, since you're bringing up the covers albums, how about an honorable mention? And I know the Count knows what I'm talking about, for Speak of the Devil, Talk of the Devil. That's a cover album. They're all Sabbath songs. And that is the album that really got me into Sabbath.
Me too.
Because I was a kid and I hadn't heard this shit yet. And I like Symptom of the Universe. And I don't know, just an honorable mention for Speak of the Devil. It's a great album.
That was a big fuck you album.
Same with me.
Yeah.
They heard that the Dio first Sabbath live album was coming out. So Sharon said, go fuck them. Let's just do all the Sabbath and throw it out first.
Yeah.
So was the Revenge albums.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Tony and Bill got paid, right? I mean, I heard another reason they put that out is it was the first time they could make any money off the Sabbath publishing because they'd gotten so fucked on all that stuff.
Yeah.
And by that time, they had their publishing back, and by putting that out, they made some money.
Triple fuck you album.
Fuck you to that
Fuck
guy.
everybody.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
That's a cool one right there.
And yeah,
Brad
tribute's
Gillis is a
awesome
beast.
also.
Brad Gillis did great. What a player. 24 years old. Stud. Learned it in a weekend,
That's the only thing he did with Ozzy, right? And some of the tour, right?
But he did the tour, play the Randy shit. And he did that record. And then he did fucking Night Rangers. He had a huge year. He's crushing. He's cocksmith.
He is very underrated. I mean, I've never gotten the attention he deserves.
He's definitely awesome. Still playing, man. Killer.
Mhm.
Eddie Trunk
nice
had
guy,
him.
nice guy too.
That's Butch Jones' favorite, Brad Gillis. Oh,
He's shredded, man. Did a nice job.
yeah.
Better than Mel Torme's kid.
It's
He's
a little
the
surprising that
first rock
Brad
star I
just-
ever met
know,
was Brad Gillis. It was the
maybe
first
we were
rock star I
all-
ever met. Night Ranger was playing the fairgrounds with 38 Special.
No
Yeah.
shit.
And they were doing their laundry around the corner, and one of our friends said, "Hey, the band Night Rangers down there," and we're like, "Yeah, who cares?" And then one of my friends' older brother was like, "Yeah, but Brad Gillis was on Speak of the Devil," and then we all jumped on our bikes and ran down there. They were cool as hell. Him and the singer from Night Ranger, and they were pointing
Nice.
at our shirts and stuff, and they were
Jack
fucking saying, "Oh,
Blades.
you guys coming to the show tonight?" And we're like, "Yeah, we weren't planning, but we jumped the fence and we went and seen the show for free."
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
All
All
right,
right,
guys.
James.
So I've got the floor for the rest of the show, and I've got the rest of you guys kind of in a circle.
Oh,
So I'm gonna go with Count Ralphus. Let's get your 13-7.
All right. So yeah, man, this was it was sad at times going through these, especially as I got closer to the older albums because they've been with me for so long. But it was great because I was planning on going through them all anyway. Kind of gives you a reason to go back through everything, all the Sabbath albums too. And I mean, I never stopped listening to them, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the covers album first. The undercovers, and then this album. This should have kind of been included because there's like a whole disc on here of like stuff that's not on anything else. But we'll leave that out. But yeah, I mean, let me get my notes here. For the undercover album. I like Sunshine for Your Love was all right. Mississippi Queen was cool. I know Leslie West actually appeared on that song with him.
Yep.
And then he does some Beatles songs. He does a good version of them. Sympathy for the Devil was all right. Like to me, like he didn't do any metal songs. Like how great would it have been if he did like a Dio song? Like even like something from like Last in Line or something. Like that just would have been awesome to hear him like do some like metal, So it's cool that he did this, but it definitely is ranked last for me. Then my next one, I'm gonna go with this one, Ordinary Man. I like some of the stuff's cool, it's Holy for Tonight. There's a lot of cryptic song titles throughout like the last, or like pretty much all his albums, but like really the last 5 albums or so like that. Like all throughout, he seems like he's always kind of been thinking of death or fearing death or knowing death was coming. There's like some like really cryptic shit on a lot of this stuff, but All My Life, good leads on that. Goodbye is a song, which is like, again, it's like he's saying goodbye then. This was 2 albums ago. Yeah, the Post Malone song, it's weird because it's kind of like the heaviest song on the album, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think he should have did something with him. I don't care about that fucking guy. So then I'm gonna go with Patient Number
agree.
9.
I love the honesty.
No. I'm gonna go with Black Rain next. So Black Rain, I got this. That's another thing is Ozzy's on every single album cover. It's something I didn't realize it until I started going through. I said, "Oh shit, yeah, I didn't realize he's on every single album cover." But my version of Black Rain is I bought this version, and I believe at the time, if you bought this, it was like you got a free ticket to Ozfest. with
Yep.
this version. So you had to get it like this version, and I like that cover with just like the logo and the skull and the crown and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, Trapdoor was a cool one. 11 Silver I like. The title track is cool. The countdown's begun. So okay, then my next one is gonna be Patient Number 9. And it was funny because I went to Rock Fantasy twice to get this when it came out, and both times it was sold out. And how cool is that? Like this is like these later albums, and Keeler's can't keep them in stock. When I come, I'm like a day late or something. They all sold out again. He's reordering them. So by the third time I go back for it, he's got this version that came with the cool like McFarlane comic book thing, you know. So I ended up getting like this cool version of it, you know. And yeah, Degradation Rules with Tony Iommi. There's a song God Only Knows. And in that song, he says a line saying, going to Birmingham to fade away. Is anybody catching that when you're re-listening to these right now?
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, how fucking weird is that he's saying going to Birmingham to fade away. Then he's got a song Dead and Gone. I mean, was he saying goodbye on this album?
Yeah.
Escape from Now with Tony Iommi is another great one. Starts off like a Planet Caravan, but then it comes in with that crushing riff.
Yeah.
I will never die. I will never die because I'm immortal is the lyrics in the song Immortal. How, you know, again, and the title track with Jeff Beck is great. I'm glad he went out with like a really good, strong album. I thought, and I thought it was cool how he went out with like an album where he has all these guests and stuff. He deserves to have all these special people. And I like how, like, you know, Elton John on The Ordinary Man, stuff like that. He comes in. It's like, it's great that all these legends are honoring him, especially in this final show, how many legends came out, you know. All right. So now I'm going, okay, Scream. I'm wearing a Scream. This is a parking lot tour shirt from when I seen him in 2010. And it was actually Ozzy's birthday that day. I believe he was 62 years old. But it's 2010. Right? You could do the math, but
Was that
he was
at the Meadowland?
yeah, it was at the Meadowlands, and you know, it was great seeing him as a tour.
Didn't
where it wasn't
Halford
part of-
open that show?
Yeah,
At the
Halford's on the
Izod
back
Center?
of the shirt.
Yeah.
Halford's
Yeah,
on the
Steve
back of
Lindsay
the
was
shirt,
there.
and it's great. It was great to see Ozzy. I guess it was like in the winter because Ozzy's born in December, I believe.
Yeah,
But,
it was in December.
Yeah, so it's like cool, like when he's doing the Ozfest in the summer, but then he did do some tours throughout the Ozfest years. Like I know he did a Rob Zombie one. I have a tour shirt for that someplace. But
that was the Merry Mayhem Christmas tour, I think, with Rob Zombie. I
Yeah.
actually took my sister-in-law Tony to that show.
Yeah, again in the winter he's doing
Yeah.
dates, and it was cool because you know, every time like my wife had seen him, she never got to see it was always the Ozfest, and then Ozzy would play, or it was Sabbath or Ozzy playing. But this was her only time ever seeing like just Sabbath doing like Ozzy doing a full set, you know. It was great. They bring a cake out for him and all that stuff. But I like a lot of songs. I think I listened to this album a lot because I knew I was going to the show, and I bought the album. And Let Them Hear You Scream, Soul Sucker, Life Won't Wait, which is another cryptic title, you know. It's the most different album, a very modern sounding album, you know. And Ozzy did that a lot. He stayed with what was current at the times, and the productions would be current and stuff like that. And you couldn't really expect it to be like the real old sounding stuff, you know. He was just keeping up and keeping with the times and stuff. But
Hey, Ralphus, who did guitar on that one?
That was Gus G from Firewind on that, and Keeler had met him at like and so Keeler and James didn't even know each other, but they were both at like
well,
this,
I knew him from, he was in Left and Griffins then, so I knew him at band. But yeah, we were at
yeah, we knew each other, but we just
were at
happened to fucking show up at that same thing.
It was me, you, Steve Levin, and like 6 other people.
If that, yeah, it was like probably less than a dozen people there hanging out watching Gus G play.
Yeah. And I was
a
little disappointed when Gus G joined Ozzy because it meant I wasn't going to get him with Firewind, because I really love Firewind. It's up, you know.
Firewind got so melodic and like mellow though.
Not anymore. Not recently, I don't think.
Yeah, their new shit's kind of weak.
I haven't listened to their last few.
Lots of ballads.
I actually liked it, but anyhow, we're off topic.
Yeah, so this is the CD. I always kept up and bought all the CDs, even though like these later ones I didn't play a ton of, but I think it's kind of like with Dio. When Dio passed away, I ended up really appreciating those later albums that I didn't play the hell out of,
Got
and I
mine
think I'm
signed by
already
Gus.
feeling it. Nice. I'm already feeling it with like these Ozzy albums, like going back already, and now the cryptic like song titles and stuff. I'm like it has like a new meaning with a lot of these later albums. But so then I'm gonna go number 8. I'm gonna go Osmosis. And let me see what I wrote for that one is My Jekyll Doesn't Hide. What a cool song title is that, And the Perry Mason song I've talked about before. It's like it's such a great like song, like musically. Like Zach came up with some amazing music for that. And I feel like it's the lyrics like kind of get wasted on it, but it is a really awesome song until you realize it's about Perry Mason. That's the only fucking bad thing about it. But it's a really cool song. Um, I just want you. It's slow, but it's kind of haunting. And Ozzy's got a lot of great ballads through all these albums, and I don't mind an Ozzy ballad. Some albums have a little too many, but Thunder Underground was a cool one.
Yeah, heavy.
Whole World Is Falling Down was a cool one. It's definitely a fucking cool album. And so my number 7 is my last one I'll be doing and this is the Osmosis album. I have one more, like I said, I'll pull them out. But
such a cool cover.
Down to Earth. This one surprised me as I'm going back and listening to it. I was like, man, I must have listened to this like crazy. Must have seen him on this tour. Must have been one of the Oz Festival 2001. But Gets Me Through, Dreamer, Facing Hell, That I Never Had, No Easy Way Out, Junkie, Can You Hear Them? These are great songs. I really enjoyed going back to this. It's been a long time since I listened to this album in full, and I thought it kicked ass. Really, really good, strong album for a later Ozzy album. And that's my first half of my ranking.
All right. Fucking great. So, next one up, our brother from Norway, Ovi.
Right.
Let's get your 13 to 7.
Yes, I'm gonna rattle the cleats of it here. I hear.
What time is it over there, Ovi?
It's 4:12 a.m.
Perfect. 4:20 soon. So
that's right.
Yeah. For me, the album number 13 is gonna be Down to Earth. I don't know what to say. I don't really want to say anything. I'm just gonna say it's number 13. Number 12, I have Ordinary Man. I don't know. I've tried to listen to it, and it just I think he had that health scare right before that album. He was in the hospital. He almost died.
Yeah,
it was some kind of thing. So that's why I think there's a lot of thinky thoughts about death and stuff on that album. As for songs, I liked Today Is the End and Goodbye, and I think the coolest one was Straight to Hell. Number 11, I'm going to go with Undercover. I liked, this is the songs that Ozzy grew up with kind of what he shaped his music form, was shaped his interest in music, I guess. And Sympathy for the Devil I liked, and Working Class Hero, I think probably is the best version I've ever heard of that song. Mississippi Queen was my favorite of that album because that guitar riff is like do. You know it straight away. You don't need to hear more than that. Number 10, I'm going to go with Patient Number 9. I really like that song Parasites. I thought it was really good with Zach. No Escape Now. And the coolest song I thought was Evil Shuffle.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's our boy Zach. Number 9, I'm going to go with Black Rain. cool album. I think it's kind of like you Ozzy goes down to the basement and pick up some attitude and kind of just uh, let you have it and kind of have like a. It seems like he's been down for a while and he just want to get out of the house and just get out there again and it comes through an album. As for the songs, Not Going Away, of course, Countdown Begun, that's a really cool guitar riff there in the middle of that one.
Yeah.
The coolest song I thought was the Almighty Dollar because
Yes.
it's just such a good riff, and it's just the way he says the Almighty Dollar is kind of like a is kind of like he has an attitude about it. It's kind of like everything is about money. It's kind of like he's kind of sticking it to the right people, I guess, without
Yeah, he
mentioning
sounds
names.
pissed off in that song.
Yeah. And number 8, I'm gonna go with No More Tears. Um, I've listened to that album, and it's a good album. Don't get me wrong. I just find it kind of polished. It's it's such a radio friendly album. I guess that was the purpose of the album, to kind of make it big and come back into the spotlight really again. But as for the songs, Desire and Sin is kind of cool because he does something different with his vocals. But my favorite song is Hellraiser because I think him and Lemmy together, they sound so great together they because Lemmy is so deep and Ozzy is so high up here. So it's such a good contrast between those guys. It's like when he does Ain't No Nice Guy After All with On March or Die too. I think it's a
Yeah.
great ballad right there.
Yeah, there's
Uh,
a YouTube video with the Lemmy singing Hellraiser with Ozzy singing Hellraiser. It's like an animated video. It's
Yeah, it's
pretty cool.
great.
Yeah, they
It's fucking
released
great.
that.
Yeah,
They
it's like a
they
remix.
yeah,
Is
they
it? Oh,
released wasn't it like a 12-inch single last
mhm.
year? Or
Yeah.
10-inch, I
okay.
think.
All right. I
Yeah.
didn't know they released. I just saw
10-inch.
the video on YouTube. I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't know it
Yeah.
It
was
was like an
official.
anniversary thing, I think 30th anniversary thing or
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
number 7, I'm gonna go with Ultimate Sin. I think Ultimate Sin has the coolest artwork Ozzy ever had. I remember like being younger, I thought it was so cool because it's the colors and it kind of like it looks like really menacing, and it's kind of contrast to the song that got famous from the album. It doesn't really fit with the artwork, so it's kind of cool contrast there. Uh, Ultimate Sin, of course, and Thank God for the Bomb, but the Killer of Giants is it's a really good one to see here. Jack just get going. That's up to 7 for me.
Awesome. Christian,
Hey,
my boy from Connecticut.
what's going on?
What do you got? 13-7.
13-7. So probably like a lot of other people already, my list, the bottom ones are kind of some of the more, newer albums or later era, and some of the older ones are going to be at the top. But so starting with number 13, I'm going to go with Scream. I think the only song I really kind of liked on this one was Digging Me Down. The rest of it, I was kind of like, it just didn't really do anything for me. Number 12 is going to be Black Rain. Kind of the same thing. I like the opening track, Not Going Away, which, like Ralph was saying, when you're looking at all these kind of songs now with like cryptic titles, but that one is like, music of Ozzy is not going away. Number 11 for me is Down to Earth. That one, probably the first couple tracks gets me through Facing Hell. Those are probably the best ones I like on that. Then going to number 10, I'm gonna go with Undercover. And normally when an artist does like a covers album, like I'm usually kind of like, take it or leave it. if you're listening to Ozzy, like I want to hear Ozzy doing Ozzy songs, but I gotta say, like some of the songs on were pretty good. Um, I like his take on 21st Century Schizoid Man. I like the Arthur Brown cover Fire, and I actually really like the Working Class Hero, the John Lennon cover. That's like one of the I would not expect if Ozzy was doing that song that it would just come out the way it does. But I think I don't know, it's just him doing that song is just there's something magical about it. Going up to my number 9, I'm gonna go with Ordinary Man. Um, I think overall, even with it was one of those when it came out, and then he has like all these different guest stars and or whoever, and it's like I want my Ozzy to be like with the one with the Zach or with a Randy or a Jakey, so I was kind of like iffy about that, but I think overall like it's really not that bad of an album. I like the opening track, Straight to Hell. I think is pretty good. I like Under the Graveyard is a good song, and surprising, I like the title track, the duet with Elton John. It just I don't know, sounds like a classy song, I think. Um, I wouldn't have expected to like that one, but like, it's a good one. So going to my number 8, it's going to be Patient number 9. I think it's actually going back to revisit that one. I think it's pretty good. I like I like all the Tony Iommi, and I like all the Zakk Wylde songs on there. But I guess if I go my favorite, No Escape from Now and Degradation Rules, the 2 Tony songs. Then also Mr. Darkness. I really like that song as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then my number 7 is gonna be Osmosis. I think I mentioned it. I think I mentioned it last week when we did the tribute. That was my first. That tour was my first time seeing Ozzy live. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, Perry Mason. It's a good one. Thunder Underground, and My Jackal Doesn't Hide. Even a couple ballads on them, like See You on the Other Side, I've always kind of thought it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of a sappy song or whatever, but now with Ozzy gone, it's like, the song hits a lot differently now than it did before.
Oh yeah.
So but yeah, there we go. 13-7.
All right. Miles from Louisiana.
Yeah, so some of these records I haven't listened to in a while, and I was actually pretty shocked on how like on the fence I was about ranking some of these because I don't know, it's just like some of them were a lot better than I originally thought, and some of them, were not as good as I originally thought they were. So the numbers changed around for a while. But I gotta say, like, none of these are absolutely horrible. Like, there's not one of these that I would not put on and listen to. Just some that I would pick over others. And I like what Ralph said. Ralph said that Ozzy kept up with the times and the production. I actually wrote that in my notes. Is just like every album just felt like he was just trying to stay current and everything. And I actually respect him for that because it's not done terribly. Like we can say that bands have like done like modern stuff and tried to get like a modern sound. And I don't think Ozzy's done a bad job with that. But getting it started, number 13, I'm gonna go with the Covers record on the cover. It's just a record full of covers, and I'm not a big fan of cover records unless it's 6 Feet Under doing all Iron Maiden songs, then I'm gonna just laugh my ass off.
Graveyard classics.
But for real, like, yeah, it's a cool listen to just to go through and listen to Ozzy sing these songs. But songs that I liked was Mississippi Queen, Sunshine of Your Love, the Cream cover, and I did like Working Class Hero, the Elton John, the John Lennon cover. It was a good listen to, but just not something I'm gonna revisit often. Coming in at number 12 is Ordinary Man, which I call the hip hop album. I remember hearing it when it first came out. It didn't really land and stick with me then. Now, when I listen to it, it's not as forgettable as it was when I first listened to it. It's just, not a lot of these songs really stick with me like the other albums.
But I just don't like the hip hop stuff toward the end, like the Post Malone shit. Post Malone is more like my age group, and I don't mind that stuff to a degree. But when I listen to Ozzy, I don't want to hear that shit. And then him and the Travis Scott song at the end was absolutely terrible for this record.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah, so that, I mean, it's an okay record. It still has good stuff. It's got Straight to Hell. It's got Ordinary Man on it. It's got some good stuff on it, but the hip hop stuff, fuck that. But there it is at number 12. Number 11, I'm going Scream. I called that the Arena Rock album. It's got that very early 2010 vibe to it. It's got like that arena rock vibe to it. To me personally, it's not bad. Like, I respect Ozzy keeping up with the times with the production and everything on it. Uh, it just has a certain vibe to it that just doesn't land with me 100%. But not a bad record. Digging Me Down's a good one. Crucify is cool, but it does have that certain vibe. And Leighton Mears Mercy was a good song too. So that's number 11. Actually, I had to switch these numbers around. Number 10, I went with Black Rain. I would call this the Return to Darkness record because it does have an evil type vibe going on with it.
Yeah.
It's got that mid 2000s, vibe going on with it, but it's a lot more darker. The songs that I really liked on it was the title track, Not Going Away, and 11 Silver. It's a fine record, but coming in at number 10. Number 9, I'm gonna go with, let me flip this back. Go with the first Ozzy record that I remember coming out, and that was Down to Earth. I actually listened to this record right when Ozzy passed away, because before we was gonna do this ranking, just because I hadn't heard it in a while and it's been sitting in my collection. And it's I actually really dug it. I dug the whole thing. I dug most of the songs on here. It does have that early 2000s rock vibe with that, slow, heavy riffs on it, but it doesn't do it terribly. It's not like full on like dad rock or butt rock, whatever you want to call it. It does do it a good job with it. It fits for its time, and that's about what I can say for it. It fits for like 2001. And one thing I always thought was cool is the Ozzy's logo. I don't know. Yeah. The logo Ozzy had at this time, I always thought was pretty fucking cool.
Ozzy always changed the logo too. Like the logos are always a little different throughout all the albums.
And I always thought that was a cool logo. And this album cover, when I was a kid and I saw this album cover, it absolutely scared the shit out of me. It's just like all distorted and shit on a cross. It was
and
very,
it's
very
just
cool.
Ozzy. It's not Ozzy Osbourne, where a lot of times it has Osbourne underneath. But yeah, that's like X-ray. There's like X-rays part of that, like artwork and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
on
like,
the back, it's got like the X-ray stuff with the chains and stuff.
Yeah,
cool cover. I always liked it. Songs that I liked on it was No Easy Way Out, Gets Me Through, and What I Never Had. Facing Hell was a good one too. I thought that one was really, really good too. So that was what, number 9. So number 8, I'm gonna go with Osmosis. Yeah, Perry Mason and stuff. It's a real 90s sounding record. I just like when you put on this record, it's like, yeah, this came out in the mid 90s or whatever. Yeah, Perry Mason's what it is, it's a cool song, but it's about Perry Mason. The song that I always liked off this record was See You on the Other Side. I heard it when I was real young, and it's just a song that's always stuck with me. And that's what I could say about a lot of these records is, even though I don't like them as much, they do have songs that have stuck with me. most of the time. And My Jekyll Doesn't Hide, like Ralph said, that was pretty cool song title. But just comes in at number 8 for me. And number 7, I know we were talking in like the group chat, and I was really surprised. It was Patient Number 9. Was I remember I could have swore I heard this record when it came out, but then revisiting all these records and listening to it, I'm like, did I really hear this record? Because I don't remember it being this good. The Tony Iommi tracks were just good. I just had a great time listening to this record again. And actually, I'm looking to I didn't buy it when it came out. I think at the time what it was is that Ordinary Man came out and I just didn't connect with that record. And that one came out in 20, and then this one came out 2 years later. And I was like, damn, Ozzy's putting out records pretty quick. And I don't know the cover, I don't know, just something didn't sit with me right, but I don't know why I judged that book by its cover. It's a really, really strong album, in my opinion. I call it the Swan Song record because at his age and what he was, his health issues that he was going through, for him to put out an album like that is very, very commendable. And I think Patient Number 9 was the right way to go out. That is a very strong record. So even though it comes in at number 7, the ones that are before it I really love, but Patient Number 9 is a fantastic record.
Agreed. Excellent. Tony Dio. I'm gonna call you Tony Dio and not Tony Ozzy because you're
Ozzy.
fucking Tony Dio.
That's right. Okay,
13 to 7.
So 13, I'm gonna go with Undercover. Never really got into this one that much. I mean, there's a couple of good covers on here that he did. I do like the 21st Century Schizoid Man, and I do like his version of Arthur Brown's Fire. It was pretty cool. That was on it. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You guys remember the dual disc?
Yes.
One of the old dual disc that's got some video on one side of the disc is DVD and one CD audio. One cool cover that nobody brought up that Ozzy did. Ozzy and Zach did a cover of Purple Haze on the Stairway to Heaven, Highway to Hell album that came out as like the whatever it was, drug rehab record or whatever they were a part of. That version of Purple Haze smokes that they do.
Yes.
They did a really good.
That's in that Prince of Darkness box set.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going. I'm going to do Scream next. I don't actually have a physical copy. I actually going to order that one. I've listened to that a couple times trying to get prepared for this. Never paid it much attention. That was one. When it come out, I heard some of it, and I was really hyped up about Gus G joining the band, and was thinking that okay, well maybe Ozzy's going to sound like some Firewind stuff, like some of the stuff they were doing there around that period of Firewind, which was the really good stuff. But of course, we didn't get that wish, and Gus didn't write anything on the album. He's just basically playing solos. This album was produced by this guy Kevin Churko, who has worked with Britney Spears, Shania Twain, Michael Bolton, Celine Dion,
and
as well as new metal bands like Hell Yeah, Disturbed, Five Finger Dong Punch, and in this moment. So it's got a very new metal kind of modern, not new metal, but modern metal sounds about a lot of the riffing and stuff. But there's still some good songs on this record. Let Me Hear You Scream is great. I liked Soul Sucker. It's got a great solo on that one. Digging Me Down, even though it had that modern metal riffing, I thought the song as a whole with the solo and everything was really good. Time, great solo from Gus G on that song, and liked that song a lot. That was really cool. And listening to I Love You All, I listened to it today, and this just haunts you when you think that he just passed, and it's just kind of his love song to his fans, they're really, really cool. I'm going to get a copy. I'm going to order the vinyl of this to have it. It's out now. So the next one up here in line is going to be Black Rain. I thought I had a physical copy of this. I had the one Count Ralphus showed, but it's in a little digipack. Who knows? It's stuffed somewhere in between something where it's not supposed to be, and I can't find it. So one day I'll
so
find
thin.
it.
It's so thin
It's
in
so
the
thin.
album. It's so thin when you put it in the collection that you don't even see it. You gotta pull them all
it's
out.
probably stuck behind something, but it's not with my Ozzy CDs. Couldn't find it, but I know I had it because I had got it, and they had the little ticket, Ozfest ticket thing. I remember.
Yeah, it's like a code to get the free ticket for Ozfest.
Yeah. So, this is produced by the same guy, the Kevin Churko. He co-wrote most of these songs on this album with Zakk Wylde. So Zakk is very prominent on this, almost to the point you could call this record Black Label Rain, because it sounds a lot like Black Label Society. And I remember when Ozzy and Zakk parted and he brought in Gus G, one of the things Ozzy was quoted saying is, you were getting to the point where you couldn't tell my records from Black Label Society records. And he's right with this one, because it sounds a lot like Black Label. And that's not a bad thing. It's just, it does. It sounds like Ozzy singing on a Black Label record. You get more of a stillborn type stuff, but yeah, Not Going Away is a really good track. I Don't Want to Stop was cool. Great solo from Zakk on that one. The Almighty Dollar I thought was a horrible track. That was just sludge. But Silver, really liked that one. Thought that was really good. Here For You is a good ballad. But yeah, so that's about it for that one. Next up for me on my list here is going to be Ordinary Man, which I do have on CD. And he did bring back the old school Ozzy logo for that one. This was a pretty decent record. I thought Straight to Hell was a great opening track on this one. All My Life's a good song. Speaking of Straight to Hell, Slash did the solo on that. That's a great solo on that. Goodbye's a good song. The Ordinary Man with Elton John, it's not really what I want to hear from Ozzy, but it's not a bad track. And Slash once again does a brilliant solo on that. Under the Graveyard, I really like that. Remember the music video for that was the one where Ozzy and Sharon had the actors playing them, like the little little documentary piece or whatever on how she found him, in the hotel. I thought that was well done. Very, very cool. Cool song. Eat Me, great track. Scary Little Green Men was cool too. I like that. Andrew Watt produced this album, and I think he's very underrated producer. He had a band with Glenn Hughes for a while, the California Breed. He's not a bad guitar player at all either. And this album was full of guests. You had Slash, Duff McKagan, Chad Smith, Tom Morello, and of course Elton John. So yeah, not a bad record there for that. For Ordinary Man's my number 10. Then we're gonna go next up is number 9. I'm gonna go with Down to Earth. Great one. Great cover art here, that is. And like you said, that's a cool little Ozzy logo. I saw this was one of those enhanced CDs that was another thing that was cool. You could put it in your computer and you got to see the Ozzy Randy video from the After Hours on it. That was kind of cool. But this has got some good songs on it. This was produced by, I think it's Tim Palmer produced this one. Gets Me Through, great track, great riff on that song. I thought Facing Hell was a cool song. Noticed that Jeff Nichols was a co-writer on Facing Hell from the Sabbath camp, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool that Jeff Nichols gets a co-writing credit on the Ozzy record, But Junkie's probably one of the best songs on here. I like Black Illusion. I don't revisit this album a whole lot. This is the first time I'd heard it in a while, but it kind of is what it is. My next one is going to be number 8. It's going to be Patient number 9. I don't have a physical of that. I just ordered it actually. After listening to this 2 or 3 times, I was like, God, this is a really good record. And I think Miles summed it up well. It's a great song, swan song album. It's the best Ozzy record in years as a whole, I think. And he's got a lot of guests on this as well, different people playing, got a lot of outside songwriters and stuff. But the title track, Patient Number 9 with Jeff Beck, is really, really good. Immortal, it's got Mike McCready on that one. That one's really good. Zach just smokes on Parasite, another great one. The 2 songs with Iommi, No Escape from Now and Degradation Rules, I think both those are better than anything on 13, in my opinion. Great tracks there from Iommi and Ozzy. But Mr. Darkness is great. Evil Shuffle. Like I said, it's some good stuff on this record. Another reason I was going to buy it when it first came out. I wanted that one that Count Ralphus was talking about. He had the one with the alternate artwork with the comic book from Todd McFarlane, and I didn't get it right away. And those things started going through the roof. They were going for like $100 and stuff on eBay. So I just said, screw it. And I was on eBay the other day and I actually found one for like $50. So I ordered it because
Nice.
those are they're not getting any cheaper. But yeah, so that's my number 8. And then my number 7 is going to be Osmosis from 95. And this one had Zach and of course Geezer Butler played on it. Co-wrote some stuff on this one. Dean Castronova on drums on this album, from who's in Journey now. We played on tons of metal releases back in the 80s, on the Wild Dogs and stuff like that. Great drummer. But yeah, Perry Mason, the riff on that is great. I mean, you got to give it to it. It's a really, really cool riff. I like I Just Want You. Thunder Underground's great. My Jekyll Doesn't Hide, great riff on that one. Love that one. And See You on the Other Side's a great ballad. And another song that kind of comes into play when we think about losing Ozzy now that he is on the other side. So that's my first 7.
Excellent. Ed Farsh, let's get your 13 to 7.
Going on, everybody?
Ed.
All right, I'm just gonna start off here. Number 13, Black Rain. Definitely my least favorite Ozzy album. It's funny. You mentioned the Black Label Association. I am not a Black Label fan at all. That's probably why this is my least favorite Ozzy album. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
I Don't Want to Stop, Trapdoor, Countdown's Begun. Definitely the best songs on the album for me. Number 12 album, Down to Earth. Good songs, a little better than Black Rain. Facing Hell, No Easy Way Out, Can You Hear Them? My favorite songs on that one. Number 11 album is a more favorite for a lot of you, Osmosis. I just never really got into that album. We talked about this album last week, and it's just not one of my favorite Ozzy albums at all. Thunder Underground, probably a favorite song on the album. See You on the Other Side. We all keep talking about it. Great song, very, very poetic right now. Perry Mason, again, good song. Not great, but a good song. Let's see. Number 10, Ordinary Man. I like this album. I definitely like this album. A lot of these later Ozzy albums, I really don't have copies of. Didn't hear the entire, some of them I never heard the entire album. Just heard sporadic songs and different things. And so this is really cool, sitting down and listening to every album. What I did, I started from the Patient Number 9 and just went backwards because obviously I'm very familiar with the early albums. So, and it was really cool listening to them all, and definitely I'm going to be picking a lot of these albums up. But number 10, Ordinary Man. Like I said, I definitely got into this album. This was a good album. Under the Graveyard, Today Is the End, Scary Little Man, all good songs. I am not a fan of the Travis Scott song. Take what you will, take what you want.
Post Malone.
You listen to the album. that song came on. I was like, what the hell is this? I was listening on Spotify. I'm like, oh, I guess the Ozzy album's over. What's this crap they putting on now? I saw his Ozzy song. I'm like, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. But otherwise, I do like that album. Let's see. Number 9, Scream. Again, getting a little better. Time is definitely a great song on this one. Life Won't Wait. Really, really cool acoustic outro. I really like the way that ended. And it was like, it starts off, you think it's going to be like, 6, 8 notes or something. It goes on. It's like a really, really, really cool outro. Very cool. And then going into Digging Me Down, another really good song. Let's see here. Number 8, No Rest for the Wicked. Good album. My least favorite of the early Ozzy, the early era albums. Devil's Daughter, Tattooed Dancer, and Miracle Man. Favorite songs on those. Number 7, Patient Number 9. I really like this album. Again, when it came out, I heard a song or two. I heard the 2 Tony songs, and I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. Didn't pick up the album, didn't really listen to the whole album, and sat down and listened to it, and I was blown away. First of all, the 2 Jeff Beck songs, my favorite songs on the album, even more than Tony songs, were just a really, really fantastic. And I love all the guitarists he used. He was able to incorporate their sounds and their style into an Ozzy song, and it was a great medley with the mixing of the 2 of them there. But yeah, like I said, the 2 Jeff Beck songs, The Thousand Shades, Patient Number 9, fantastic. No Escape From Now, Degradation Rules. We also did the Tony songs. The Eric Clapton song, One of Those Days. Great. And you could tell it's Eric Clapton. So that guitar work is just fantastic. So cool. We'll go the top 6 later.
All right. So I guess we're to me now. So my number 13 is going to be Undercover. I really don't reach for this one that much and never did. This is one that I really only reach for when I've exhausted everything else, when I get in Ozzy mode and, I listen to all the top favorites and then I work through everything and go for Undercover last. But I really love Fire. Great cover. Sunshine of Your Love, I feel like, is one of the better ones on here, too. And I really love the cover of Mississippi Queen, especially because it's got Leslie West on it. Fucking fantastic. Number 12 for me is going to be Ordinary Man. Like everybody else, I like Under the Graveyard on this one a lot. I also like Scary Little Green Men, even though the lyrics are a little fucking blah, but musically it's a fucking great song. It's heavy. And my favorite one off this is Eat Me. I really like that one a lot. That's a heavy fucking song, and Duff's bass line in that is so goddamn good. Great way to kick the song off. Fantastic. Number 11 for me is going to be Scream. I like this one a lot, but one of them's got to be number 11, right? Digging Me Down, the riffs in that, so brutal, so brutal. That fucking that is so good. I Want It More, another one, great riffs, great fucking riffs in that song. And I really like Soul Sucker. I am a fan of the talk box. That's a fucking awesome, cool instrument, thing that you hook up to the guitar. I love when Alice in Chains use it. I love when Slash uses it. And I love when Zakk Wylde uses it with BLS. And here with Soul Sucker, it's the prominent thing going on in that tune. And I fucking love that song. And I love the talk box in that. Number 10 for me is going to be Patient Number 9. Ed just talked about the Eric Clapton song, One of These Days. I love that tune. Just, how many times have you felt like those lyrics, one of those days where I don't believe in Jesus? Just so prominent, it's just so great lyrically and musically. Degradation Rules, I love, not only because it's a Tony Iommi song. That's one of the main reasons I love it. I love it because it won a Grammy and it's a song about jerking off. And I just think that that's like such a fantastic thing that Ozzy wrote a song towards the end of his life, the end of his career, about jerking off, and it won a Grammy. It's just
Dave Ellison should have fucking presented the Grammy. Dave Ellison should have fucking presented that Grammy to him.
Yes,
I just
he
thought of
should
that
have.
now.
He should have hosted.
Yes,
He should have definitely been the.
Good
He should have
point.
walked it out like that.
Dude, just think if he would have fucking wrote a song about jerking off to Perry Mason, he would have won the fucking Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, so true. My favorite track on Patient Number 9 is Nothing Feels Right. Great song with Zach Wild, and I love the melody to it. I love the lyrical flow, and it's a fantastic song. We've all had those days where nothing feels right, and it's just another example of when Ozzy writes or sings something and you feel it, and it just makes it hurt that much fucking more that he's gone now, because he's written and sang so many songs that we fucking love and feel. Number 9 for me is going to be Down to Earth. I really like this album a lot, especially going back and revisiting it. It's an album that I don't reach for that much, and I don't know why. Because it's got fucking Rob Trujillo on it, who I love as a bass player. And it's, of course, it has Zach on it, who I love too. Black Illusion, I really love that tune. Very Sabbathy riffs in that one. That's a great song. And something that I never had, or just, I guess it's just that I never had. I really like that tune a lot. I especially like the live version of that on Live at Budokan a lot, because Zach Wild backs him up lyrically, and does all those background vocals. That's so good, man. That Live at Budokan is just fucking badass. I wish the lineup of Zach, Rob, and Mike Borden would have done more with Ozzy.
I just wanted to say the Live in Budokan stuff that he did off this record really made me appreciate this record a lot more.
Yeah.
They
agree.
They were really, really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, the band was on fucking fire in that live show. And my favorite track is Gets Me Through. That's just so dark and heavy and sludgy and Sabbathy. Love it. Fantastic song. Number 8 for me is going to be Bark at the Moon. I like this album a lot, but it's going to be number 8. I like the title track a lot. I really like Rock and Roll Rebel. The fucking riffs in that are nasty. And Waiting for Darkness. Great epic song. I'm also in a power metal band. We were fucking with that song at one point, and I learned how to play the bass to that, and like I still sit and play the bass to that too. And fucking, it's just fantastic. Number 7 for me is going to be, I went back and forth with a couple of them at number 7, but number 7 for me is going to be No More Tears. And it was hard not to put it in the number 6, in the top 6 rather, but I gotta put it in the bottom 7. I love the title track. Zach's solo in the title track is so goddamn good, so epic, and just so bluesy and just awesome. I love Hellraiser as well. And that's another one where Zach's guitar solo was just disgusting in that song. And Mama, I'm Coming Home. That is one where I always loved it, but after my mother died, it became a lot more prominent and epic for me. And man, there was a moment where I went to my first Black Label Society show. I saw them on the Mafia tour in New Jersey, and Zach Wild is doing a guitar solo thing, and he comes out with the acoustic, and he starts jamming on the acoustic, just soloing. And then he started those 3 notes that that 3-note opening to that song is so, for me, iconic and recognizable. He did that a couple times. He did that and just waited to hear everybody's response. And he did the entire song sitting on the edge of the stage, just him playing the acoustic, and we all sang it for him. And I fucking cried during that. It was so epic. That's such a fantastic song. And yeah, there's my 13-7. Fantastic. So we got 6-1. Count Ralphus. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I just want to say, going back to patient number 9 really quick, is when I first got it, I remember how much I enjoyed going, okay, who's on this track and who's on this track, and it because that album has such a variety to it, which is definitely one of the strong points, is how much variety there is to it. And it was cool. And then I listened to it again, and I liked it the first time, and I listened to it a second time, and then it just got put away, and I moved on. And so it's definitely one that I'm going to go back to probably the most, as far as like that I haven't really listened to as much. And I really like going back to it now, and going back to Scream really quick, as I forgot to mention that I feel like it's like the most metal album, even though it's modern as hell. I think it's one of the most modern metal albums of his later career. But all right, so then going for the 6 down, it's kind of weird. I'm kind of like giving it away right off the bat, is that I got to go in order from how these were all released. And I had no problem with doing this, except for the 6 and 5. Between No More Tears and No Rest for the Wicked, that was like one of the hardest battles between 2 albums for me out of all of these. And I'm just going to keep it in order. I think No More Tears is a great album. I think it's a little too ballady, but I like all the ballads that are on it. It's just like those ballads have been cool to be mixed on to some of the other albums or something. Like there's just a kind of, it feels like a bit of much on this one. But yeah, the title track is fucking great. I Don't Want to Change the World. We've all talked about that. Hellraiser, Lemmy's writing that, and Time After Time, Road to Nowhere, another ballad. And the Zombie Stop, it would be cool. I don't like the chorus so much on it, but it's kind of cool. It's heavy. I got Mr. Tinkerman single CD, and I grabbed of course I got the album on CD. And then so then I'm gonna go No Rest for the Wicked, Bloodbath in Paradise. I always loved it when George Bush was doing that like thing. And that Greta person that used to work at Fox, she bring Ozzy as like a guest to that thing with the president. And so President Bush started like naming like some of the songs, and one of them was Bloodbath in Paradise and like Party with the Animals, I think he mentioned. But it was like, it's just funny. And then Ozzy just gets up and he's like, yeah, he fucking loved it that he was being acknowledged that way. One of the great moments of Ozzy. What a cool fucking thing. So yeah, fucking Fire in the Sky, Demon Alcohol. I really like that one. That was one I kind of forgot about. And that's a great one. That's definitely an anthem for me, for the way I live. But Devil's Daughter, Holy War, Breaking All the Rules, Tattoo Dancer, I thought was really cool too. So yeah, this was a really cool album. Then I'm gonna go. So I'm going in order. I already gave it away, but Ultimate Sin. I seen him for the first time. I really wanted to see him on Bark at the Moon tour with Motley Crue opening. Yeah, I had one friend that went. I really dying to go, but I couldn't get a ride. I was too young. I was 13 years old. I love this album cover. It's the best album cover of all the Ozzy albums for sure. And but it was the worst Ozzy look, I thought, at the time. And Metallica opening up. I've told the story. I got to meet Metallica the night that I seen them open up for Ozzy. Fucking super memorable night. My first person I ever met was Brad Gillis, and Metallica with Cliff Burton was the second band I ever met. But yeah, Killer of Giants, the title track, Ultimate Sin, is great. Thank God for the Bomb. It's just great
Mhm.
Ozzy song. See you on the other side. All right, so yeah, Bark at the Moon. I love this album. I fucking love this. This was such a great metal album. I love this. This is my second favorite album cover. I like the back even more. I think the back should have been the front of the album cover, you know. But
Agreed.
I like everything on this band. That solo on the title track, Bark of the Moon, is unbelievable. Jakey Lee is just fucking amazing on this album. Waiting for Darkness, such a cool like atmosphere to everything that's going on here. Center of Eternity again with the atmosphere. Um, Slow Down, Rock and Roll Rebel, You're No Different. I love this album. This is a great, perfect, like a perfect 10 out of 10 album for me, just like the next two are too. Um, so this is the big controversy one, is that a lot of people will always it seems like most people go with Diary of the Madman over Blizzard of Oz, but I'm gonna go Diary of Madman #2. Got the picture disc version. I love this album. It's a perfect album. I think it sounds better than Blizzard of Oz. And it's kind of like my thing with Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell. I think Mob Rules sounds better, but there's something about the first album. And I think it's like, you know, I like this more sinister album cover. But yeah, I mean, I got every single song written down. There's not a bad song on here, so I'm not even gonna go into them because they're just fucking amazing. It's such an incredible album. Randy Rhoads is fucking god. And my number one, I'm gonna go, of course, Blizzard of Oz. For some reason, I got 2 copies of it. Caller number 9 gets one of these. No, but I got the live Mr. Crowley fucking thing, but I got these. I might as well just show these really quick, even though it's off topic. But I got these at Rock Fantasy not too long ago. These are like these weird picture disc interview albums, and I remember when I found them in the section for Ozzy. I'm like, "Yo, Steve, why don't you fucking tell me this shit's in here?" And he's like, "Oh, they're just interviews. Why would you want that?" I'm like, I fucking love this kind of shit, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, again, I Mr. Crowley, I've said it before, is I think maybe my favorite guitar solo of all time. This is such a perfect flow, but you could say
Yeah.
that about any Randy Rhoads solo.
Great
And
solo.
I mean, Jakey Lee, you could say that a lot too, about most of his solos, but something about Mr. Crowley. I feel like it could have been a Black Sabbath song. And I put these, like, I put Blizzard of Oz and Diary of Madman over Never Say Die and Technical Ecstasy. Like, to me, like, if I had to rank all the Ozzy stuff, I always go the first 6 Sabbath albums, but then it would go right into Blizzard of Oz and Diary of Madman. And I think it was such a perfect continuation. He was so lucky to get such a great band. And you got to thank Sharon for doing a lot of that work of getting this band around Ozzy and always keeping him with greatest musicians that you could ever have. But yeah, I'm not even gonna go through the songs again. It's like, I mean, the one thing I'll say is No Bone Movies seems to be the one song that everybody says it's like a throwaway song, and it's like, yeah, but it's still all right, you know. It's not, it doesn't make it the perfect album the way Diary is, but I don't know, and D and Revelation Mother Earth. I love that song. Goodbye to Romance, for like a sappy song. It's fucking awesome. I love it. Suicide Solution, how great. Steal Away the Night, just fucking great, man. Ozzy is immortal. Prince of Darkness lives forever. That's it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Ralph. Ovi,
Yeah.
6-1.
Yep. My number 6 is gonna be a continuation of Ralph. It's gonna be Blizzard of Oz. I've just heard those songs that are famous on this album everywhere I go all the time. So I don't reach for this album so much because those songs they're everywhere all the time when I grew up. Songs I like, Steal the Night Away, Revelation, Mother Earth, I think is a great ballad. I think we get to hear Ozzy kind of give a little more than just his typical Ozzy. You get a lot of like his inner emotions in it. It's like a really touching bass at home kind of thing. Suicide Solution is my favorite song of the album. Number 5 for me is going to be something that's pretty strange for the rest of the guys, but that's going to be Scream for me. I love Scream. I love that sweet triple pick action. Get some fucking gear going. Get some fucking juice in the engine. Get some nitro going. It's like you got to get Gus to play a little faster. It's also been slow for a long, long, long time. So this was like a really nice wake up call. The album though was gonna be called Soul Sucker, but the fan base
Yeah, that's
didn't
right.
like the title, so he had to change it to Let It Scream. But I think Soul Sucker is great. But those about them. I Want More is I really love that. It's such a beautiful song. Digging Me Down, such a good solo, such a good atmosphere. Really like it. And of course, my favorite is Soul Sucker because that guitar is so good. Number 4 is going to be Diary of a Madman. I really like that album too. I like it better because it's less songs that are played on the radio all the time, and I really like Lil Dolls. I think it's really cool drum intro. I like it's just shows a creative side of the band. It's kind of like something different. So I really like that one. Over the Mountain, of course, I gotta have in because of the guitar riff. But the Believer, I think is Believer is such a good track. I mean, I feel like, of course, Aussie fans will know it well, but like overall, I don't think if you meet a casual Aussie fan and you say Believer, they're gonna have to grind their mind to bit to find out what song you're talking about, which for me is kind of like, hmm. Number 3 is going to be Osmosis. It's my first Ozzy album. It's where everything started. It's kind of like it's what got me into Ozzy. I like Goes Behind My Eyes. It's a good just ballad. Um, Tomorrow is such a good track. It's got everything in it, but of course, Thunder Underground is the riff. Yeah, that's Zack Wild. Number 2 is gonna be Bark at the Moon, and I think Bark at the Moon is great. I'm sure Tony has the European vinyl, which has a different Aussie color, which I like better. I think blue is better on that cover than red. We also had Center of Eternity or Forever, as it was called over here, instead of
Oh yeah, there you go with the blue logo.
yeah.
Yeah, it's called Forever on the
Yes.
European version. Yeah.
But you US guys had a different song, right?
Yeah, we had Slow Down. You have Spiders on the UK version or European version.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So that's a little cool. That's the little difference there.
Yeah.
I mean that album is so great. It's such a good guitar tone, and it's like it's for me. It's so much more. It's like it has so much. You gotta really listen to the album because there's so many layers. I know there's a lot of keyboards, but that's the atmosphere. But there's so much going on that you don't hear with the first listen to the album. It's you gotta really listen to it, and I mean, it's such a great album. Center of Eternity, Waiting for Darkness, Now You See Me, Now You Don't. I think that's the best song on the album. The guitar and the solo, and it's I know it's just a perfect song. Then for me, it's gonna be no biggie like surprise, but no rest for the wicked. When we got Zack Wild in the band, I mean, it's such a good album. It's like it's got balls. It got like a lot of depth and top. I feel like the like Ultimate Sin, it's a good album, but the sound is kind of it doesn't have any bottom or top. It's kind of very goes in the middle zone. But here you got like down to the gutter with sax guitar, and you got Ozzy up in the high like singing, and the artwork is really cool, and Fire in the Sky, Bloodbath in Paradise, and of course, but breaking all the rules. I mean, that riff, it's like, for me, that's Zack Wild right there. And I may be flogged for this, but Randy ain't no Zack. I know
agree.
Zack loves Randy, but
I agree with you.
Y'all smoking
I love Zack.
dope.
huh?
Y'all smoking dope.
I sure am.
Hey,
Well, it's for me.
really quick, I forgot I pulled this out, is Bark at the Moon 1983 vintage tour shirt.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
sick.
It's in like
Nice.
fucking amazing condition too for
That's
1983 because I can't wear it, so it stays in great condition. But I just
Nice.
pulled
Yeah.
that out. I pulled out a different one last time, so I figured I'd pull another one out. This one.
Nice.
Yeah, great pick. Great pick.
So that was your number one, Ovi? Was No Rest for the Wicked?
Yes. Zack
Oh, cool.
10 to 1.
All right. Christian
Going on.
from the CT.
CT. Yeah.
He got buddy 6-1.
Yeah, I'll do that. First of all, we're talking t-shirts. I'm wearing my Ozzy t-shirt that I had in high school where it's just a bunch of pictures of him like flipping people, just giving the finger. So
Nice.
yeah, I don't it's the only shirt that I have from high school that I still have now. I don't really wear it at all, but I figured I'd put it on for this episode. So
Did
Perfect.
anybody ever have the one with all the tattoos on it? Did you ever see that?
No, I never had that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember people having that. That was like in the 90s, I think, when that came out, early 90s.
I had the one where it was like on the front of it, it's like him singing to a microphone, and on the back, it's like a dove that like cut his head off.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had that when I was in high school.
cool. All right, so going from 6-1. Obviously the first half was, latter era stuff. So 6-1 for me is just going to be, the first six albums. Not quite exactly in that order, but all inclusive, I guess. So number 6, I'm gonna go with No More Tears, and I have this version, which was I think the 1995 reissues that they were doing. Actually, I think most of the Ozzy CDs I had were these versions because that's when
Those are the best. They're the best sounding ones to me. That
They
Yeah.
really
series.
kind of are, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, even though the cover's kind of weird because they just they shrink down the artwork for this.
You get the full cover inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and all that.
Yeah.
But when I was getting into Ozzy, that's when all these releases came out. So those are all all the CDs that I have. But yeah, anyway, for No More Tears, I mean, there's like some other folks are saying, it is kind of a ballady album, Mama, I'm Coming Home and Road to Nowhere and whatnot, but there's some good rocking songs on there. I liked SIN or Sin, I think, is a really cool song. I like Zombie Stomp. Desire is a good one, and I like the title track's cool. Mr. Tinker Train and Hellraiser, I think, is probably my favorite one off of off of No More Tears. Now coming up to number 5, I think for this one, I'm actually gonna go with Bark at the Moon. I do really like this album a lot. I think the title track is probably like a top 5 or top 3 or what have you Ozzy song. It's just one of his best. I also really like Rock and Roll Rebel, another really great song. I love Center to Eternity. That kind of like chanting at the beginning that Ozzy's doing. I don't know. I love the sound of it. Waiting for Darkness is another cool song off that one. But yeah, definitely I like Jake Ely's guitar playing. There's a couple songs on here that I think are duds, but like the great songs on that one, I just think like outweigh some of the songs that aren't as good. Coming at number 4 for me is going to be No Rest for the Wicked. Another album that it's a lot of really great songs on it. Miracle Man. I like the video for that one. And like when Ozzy's singing the lyric, like caught with his pants down, you see him like pulling his pants down for the video. It's just like it's kind of, I don't know, silly, but it's great too. It's a great
Jimmy
song.
Swaggart just died too, not too long
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, he did. So, well, if they're meeting each
Hope
other in the
Ozzy's
afterlife,
slapping him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great Demon Alcohol is a great one. I like Breaking All the Rules.
Mhm.
Bloodbath in Paradise is another good one. Fire in the Sky in a Bad Song, Tattooed Dancer. I mean, I think like I'd say most of this album is definitely just very strong. A lot of great songwriting, a lot
Yes,
of great
sir.
riffs, a lot of catchy choruses, just something you just want to sing along to, start to finish. Number 3 for me. I know a lot of people kind of rank this one lower a lot, but I love this album. Ultimate Sin. Um, you know what? Yeah, this is the Phyllis Diller era of Ozzy with the big, bumblebee suit and the bleach blonde hair, and
I love it.
but you know what? And I know one of the other guests earlier, mentioned the music videos for the stuff on here. They're so great. You got Ultimate Sin where he's driving around in the limo watching himself on TV, and
He's like J.R. Ewing.
yeah,
Yep.
he's like chasing some girl around the swimming pool.
What a cowboy
Um,
hat.
he's got the Ozzy oil, and he's out there like polishing the freaking horns on the limo. Doesn't get no much better than that. Then you got the video for Shot in the Dark where he's following that woman's like following him around and everything. And then you got the video for
Julie Gray.
yeah.
Phil
And
Sassoon, the bass player, he was dating her. I heard at
really,
like that
I didn't
around
know
that
that.
time too.
She's in a bunch. She's in several B movies. Some
Yeah, I
horror
want to say
flicks and
I'd seen
stuff.
her in something else, I think, but I don't know off the top of my head. But then there's the Lightning Strikes video, just where Ozzy's like the giant, like, I don't know, Godzilla, King Kong, like lifting some like it's just like it's the silliest freaking thing, but I don't know, I love it still. Um, but yeah, the title track is great. I like the song Shot in the Dark. I like Killer of Giants. I like Secret Loser. I like Never Know Why. I like every song of this album. I just think, I don't know. For me, it's just like one like hit after hit after hit for
Yeah.
me. I know some people it's not their favorite, but I don't know. For me, it is. So now that brings us to number 2 and number 1. So I think obviously we know those are gonna be number 2 for me is gonna be Blizzard of Oz. Um, I mean, what can I say about this that hasn't already been said? So many classics on here. My favorites are probably I Don't Know, the opening track, Revelation Mother Earth, and definitely Mr. Crowley. Oh, I mean, never tire of that song. The keyboard intro and the solo that Ralph was talking about before, definitely one of Randy's best. I like the what's that live version that they did? Probably 81. It was like live in the studio somewhere or something.
Oh, the after hours
Yes,
video.
that's the one. Yeah, that's a great live performance of that song. I might like. I mean, because it's just so raw sounding. I love it. But yeah, Suicide Solution is a great one. D is a great little acoustic track. I like the bonus one. Me looking at you, looking at me.
Yeah, that's
Um,
great bonus track.
That was the B side to Crazy Train
yeah,
single. Yeah.
and then I like Crazy Train too. Yeah, is it played out? Yeah, but it's still a good song. Which brings me to number 1, which is Diary of a Madman. Um, this album, every song on here, I think is great. Love over the Mountain. I think he's, one of Ozzy's fastest, heaviest songs, I think. Flying High Again is great. Can't Kill Rock and Roll. Man, when I got the news last week, that was like one of the first songs that I just I had to listen to once you got the news. Yeah, and the title track too, Diary of a Madman. It's such a killer song. And I think some of Randy's best playing, best songwriting. Just, I don't know, start to finish, it's a classic. And I'm picking up my CD again. I didn't realize my CD case is falling apart here, but oh well. There we go. Those are my picks, 6-1.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Christian.
Thank you.
Miles.
Yeah.
Louisiana.
So 6 and 5 were pretty. I went back and forth with these two pretty often, and I kind of settled on where they are now, but they could change. Number 6, going No Rest for the Wicked. I really do like this record. Like everybody said, Bloodbath in Paradise, Fire in the Sky, Tattoo Dancer, Demon Alcohol. My favorite song on here, one of my favorite Ozzy tracks, is Breaking All the Rules.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why, but I put it in here at 6. So number 5 would actually be a record that I would have never put this high until going back and listening to it. And that's No More Tears. The reason why I I put this record at, why I would have never picked record before is because these are some of the most overplayed Ozzy songs ever. Like the song No More Tears, I'm sorry, but I can go without hearing that song ever again, just because it plays on my local radio station all the time. Everywhere I go to, they play that song. But when I went back and listened to it, Desire is a great song. That song just rips. I love the Won't Be Coming Home. I when I went back and listened to it, I realized yeah, it's got a bunch of ballads on it, but most of the ballads are really good, and some of the deeper tracks are really good on this record as well. So it was a lot better than I was like, yeah, No More Tears is gonna be low, but when I went back, I was like, yeah, I really like this record. So comes in at number 5. Number 4 is Bark at the Moon. Just classic Ozzy right here. I call this the atmospheric Ozzy record because it does have the keyboards and the synths and stuff, but I feel like it adds a lot to the music on here. Bark at the Moon's one of the best Ozzy tracks and one of the best solos in an Ozzy song. Just Jakey Lee just rips on this record. But you got Rock and Roll Rebel, you got Slow Down, Waiting for Darkness, just classic Ozzy right here. So my next 3 are 10 out of 10 records. These are my most listened to Ozzy records. I absolutely love all 3 of these records, like a whole bunch. I listen to these records all the time. So coming in at number 3 is the glam Ozzy record, Ultimate Sin. In my opinion, this is the best Ozzy album cover. I love this album cover. I want to get a poster of this and put it up in my house somewhere. But my favorite tracks off this record are every song on this record. I literally love every song on this record. Lightning Strikes, Killer of Giants, Thank God for the Bomb, Fool Like You, I really like, Shot in the Dark, the title track, Secret Loser. I'm just ranting on every song on here. Yeah, is it glam Ozzy? Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Jakey Lee rips on this record. I love this record to death. So number 3, love this record, Ultimate Sin.
You and Christian are going to be best pals now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ovi, I'm sorry to break your heart, but it smokes no rest for the wicked. But there we go. So here we go. Number 2, Blizzard of Oz. Yeah, not much I can say about this record, but that everybody else done said. I mean, this is a fucking certified classic right here. Second best Ozzy cover with him in the back. Like, I always just love this album cover, him with the crucifix and shit. I don't know, Crazy Train, is it overplayed? Yeah, but that goddamn guitar riff is fucking killer. Holy shit. Goodbye to Romance, great. Suicide Solution. I mean, my favorite song off of here is Mr. Crowley. That's one of Ozzy's best songs. I mean, just Revelation, Mother Earth, love it. Just number 2 for me, because my number 1, and I've said it multiple times on this show, what my number 1 is. Hands down, my favorite Ozzy record, Diary of a Madman. I mean, I love every song off this goddamn record. Over the Mountain, my second favorite Ozzy song of all time. Flying High Again, You Can't Kill Rock and Roll, Believer, SATO, and absolutely my favorite Ozzy track of all time. One of my favorite songs of all time is Diary of a Madman, the title track. This fucking album, it's a fucking 12 out of 10 in my opinion. But I just wanted to show this for Christian, because I do have the version that he has, where like I could never get over this.
Yeah.
So see how so right behind it is,
You flipped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's what it did. You can flip them. Yeah.
I couldn't deal with the little small Ozzy cover. I had to get the big one. Actually, funny thing about this particular CD, when I lived at my old house where I used to do the shows at, my my neighbor got evicted from his house. And when he got evicted from his house, like the people that evicted him, because it was a rent house, he threw out a whole bunch of CDs, and they were all in the garbage can. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going through it. I see a bunch of CDs in there, and I know he listened to metal and stuff. So I found this, and I was like, oh yeah, I picked it up. It was all nasty, it was all slimy. I don't know, it probably jizz or something like that all on it. I was like, fuck it. I went clean it off. And yeah, I had Diary of a Madman, because I didn't have the version that version of it. So yeah, that's how much I love this record. I clean jizz off of this record to fucking
Comified.
Well, at least you don't have the version with the re-recorded bass and drums on it.
Yeah, fuck that. That's blasphemy. That's fucking blasphemy.
I don't even own those, and I collect everything.
No, that's a fucking definite no for me.
Tony Dio. 6
All
to
right, let's do 6 to 1. All right, number 6 for me, Ultimate Sin. Like you guys said, great album cover. Great record. Do love this record. Saw this tour with Metallica. I mean, Lightning Strike's great. Killer of Giants, one of my favorite tracks on here. I like Never. I thought that was a cool song. Secret Loser. Some of the deep tracks on here. Never Know Why. Great. Fool Like You. You know, just some good stuff on here, man. Not really a bad track on it.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt really quick though. As I meant to mention that, how cool would it have been if Ozzy came down on the big demon throne from Ultimate Sin, like the old VHS? I should have mentioned that.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's what I was kind of picturing, with the big bat wings opened up and Ozzy was sitting. Like when I first heard that he was going to be doing it, I was thinking, oh, that'd be cool if they still had that prop someplace. But that's it. So
yeah. Yeah, by the way, Julie Gray is in Dr. Alien, and she was in School Spirit horror films, Count Ralphus. Yeah. Showing quite a bit, if I remember right. But yeah.
Did she do any adult films?
No, not. I was looking at
She,
Internet Movie Database. I don't think she did.
I think she did Bad Bitches of Baltimore. I think that might have been one of her adult films. No, I'm only kidding.
Ooh,
She has an OnlyFans.
you got me all excited.
So next up, I'm gonna go No Rest for the Wicked, which I do love this one as well. I remember when this came out, was just hooked on it. I loved everything on this, man. I mean, so good. Miracle Man, Devil's Daughter, Breaking All the Rules, great riff. Fire in the Sky is probably my favorite song on this record. Do you guys remember the Oz Fest where Voivod played and Jason Newsted was in Voivod and he played with Ozzy?
Yes.
He was in Ozzy's band. They did Fire in the Sky. They brought it back on that tour because Jason loved that song and he wanted them to do it. And
Nice.
They threw it back in the set during that Ozfest. But yeah, so that's number 5. Number 4, we're gonna go with No More Tears. Actually, I'm gonna say I saw the No Rest for the Wicked tour. I saw I think Anthrax open on that. No More Tears, saw that tour too. They, when they started this tour, I mean, this album wasn't like it was popular. I remember Headbangers Ball and stuff was playing it, playing No More Tears quite a bit, but this record didn't really explode until Mama I'm Coming Home, because when Ozzy first started the tour, they were doing theaters. They weren't doing like arenas, and they were doing smaller theaters. The first time I saw him on this tour, he was doing like I said, just a civic center type place, which is the size of a theater. But yeah, this has got so many good songs. I mean, it's a lot, like you guys said, a lot of ballads and stuff. But like Road to Nowhere, I love it because it's that solo that Zach plays reminds me so much of what he would do in Pride and Glory. It's got that southern rock sound about it, But I mean, like AVH, love that song. I think it stood for like Ashton Villa Highway or something. But that was just a great track. I loved Sin. I mean, Hellraiser's good. There's not a bad track on this record. I even like the bonus tracks and stuff that like Party with the Animals and stuff that came out or whatever.
Song. Yeah.
I noticed John Sinclair played keyboards on this album. He ended up touring with Ozzy for several years, and didn't know until recently that John Sinclair was the original keyboardist in Spinal Tap. He was in Uriah Heep and several other bands back in the 80s. But yeah, if you ever see the Spinal Tap short film that came out before the movie, they didn't have Viv Savage. They had John Sinclair. And I forgot what his name was in the movie or whatever, but it's some pretty funny stuff. So number 3 for me, this was kind of tough with this last 3. Well, the first one's not tough, but these 2 and 3, I flip-flopped a couple times. I'm going to go Blizzard of Oz. And I mean, what can be said about this record? Everybody said it's got everything. I mean, everybody's loves the songs on it. And but Mr. Crowley, definitely one of my favorite Ozzy songs, my favorite Randy Rhoads solo. This is my European copy. It's got a different back cover with a group on it.
Ooh.
And, Ozzy sporting a beard on the back cover. Yeah. Nothing else really different about that. Song order and all still the same. Number 2, Bark at the Moon. I saw that tour. That's the first time I saw Ozzy. Yeah, so many good songs on Bark at the Moon. One of the best Ozzy songs ever. One of the greatest metal guitar solos in there with Jakey Lee. That last solo, it's just so cool in that song. But yeah, You're No Difference, cool. I like that. I like the slow stuff with the keyboards in it. It's very, it's very 80s sounding, but it works. It's not like Duran keyboard 80s. It's that dark keyboard, Well, maybe Slow Down. That's kind of a happy poppy song, but I love that song too. But Waiting for Darkness, another one of my favorite Ozzy songs of all time. Rock and Roll Rebel, yeah, just great. And of course, what many of you have picked number 1, I got to go number 1 too. Diary of a Madman is my favorite Ozzy record of all time. Not a bad track on it. I love the deeper cuts like Little Dolls. I mean, Lee Kursick's drumming on here is just incredible. That drum intro that he does there, the drum intro on Over the Mountain. he didn't get enough credit. You know, I mean, everybody knows Bob Daisley and he wrote the lyrics, and Bob's awesome, but Lee Kerslake was, man, what a drummer, man. I remember I went to see Uriah Heep in 2002 when Lee was still in the band, and I brought a friend with me. He was a younger guy, and he didn't know much about Uriah Heep. He just went with me, something to do, and he knew who the band was. But no, we're sitting there, and he's a drummer. And I said, "Yeah, you know, that's Lee Kerslake." I said, "That's the guy that played." I said, "That's the guy that played on Blizzard and Diary." He goes, "What? That's Lee Kerslake?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, you know who it is." And he was just like blown away. He was watching this guy, you know. But yeah, it's so good, man. Such a good record. I mean, nothing else can really be said about it. It's great, and it would have been so much. I would love to have heard so many of these songs perform live, you know, somewhere down the line. I mean, of course, we lost Randy, but somewhere down the line, I wish Ozzy had just performed that whole album from start to finish, and I'm sure Zach or whoever would have done a great job on it.
Yeah.
So
I
Tony,
actually just saw Gus G post something on social media a few days ago where when Gus was in the band, Ozzy came up with an idea where he wanted to do the first two albums in their entirety live.
I saw that too. Yeah.
We gave Gus this set list where it was the first two albums and then like a bunch of tracks from everything up to No More Tears.
Mm-hmm.
And it just never happened.
You know, something I wanted to
Gus should have
mention
been at the back to the beginning too. Like, why wasn't he there?
Yeah,
like just
he
even
should.
sitting on the side of the stage or something. I don't know. He should have been there.
Speaking of another unsung hero, guitar hero from Oz, you had damn, I done forgot his name. The guy that took Zach's place.
Joe Holmes.
Joe Holmes. Joe Holmes. Our friend Richard Johnson told me a story about talking to Joe Holmes when he was working on Ozfest, and Joe Holmes was telling him I guess the album ended up being Down to Earth. He was writing music for that.
Yeah.
And none of his stuff got used. He said he was writing a very modern metal sounding. He says, think like Rage Against the Machine style guitar riffs, not the solos, but the riffs and stuff like that. And Richard said he was like, well, man, this is probably going to be something cool, you know, but they didn't end up using none of his stuff, man.
Oh, wow.
You know, but Joe's a little older than people gave him credit for. He was a student of Randy Rhoads. So That's right. And he was in Lizzie Borden. He was the guitar player in Lizzie Borden for a while, you know, but when he was in Ozzy, he was Johnny Grunge, man. He looked like he would fit in any Seattle band around, you know.
Oh, yeah.
His image at that period, but at least he didn't look like a golden girl like Ozzy did on Ultimate Sin. So.
I would really like to see Ozzy in 1996 because Alex Skolnick from Testament played in 96.
That's
did
right.
he do a tour? Did he do any tour day? I heard they played prisons. Because Ozzy would do warm-up shows in men's prisons. And if he did a warm-up show in men's prisons looking like one of the Golden Girls, man, I bet there was a lot of spooge all over the seats that night.
I bet there was.
So, Tony, when did you guys back in the 80s hear Forever or Center of Eternity first? Where could you get it since you didn't have it on the album?
I didn't. Center of Eternity was on the regular album. Forever's the same song. Forever and Center of Eternity is the exact same song. It's just called Forever on the European album, and it's called Center of Eternity on the US versions.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like
same song. But I didn't hear Spiders. Spiders was a bonus track, and that was in place of Slow Down. I didn't hear Spiders for years. You know, yeah.
Yeah, my version's got the CD bonus, got Spiders on it.
Yep.
I got that too.
Bonus track.
Spiders is such a cool track.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Forsty. 6-1.
Yep, you got it. First, before I do the lineup, I'm gonna show a couple things I pulled out. Ozzy Osbourne photo book with
Dudes are awesome. Yes.
Yeah, these are great. I have a couple of these.
I have a Judas Priest and Deep Purple, I believe.
I have Judas Priest, but I don't have the Deep Purple.
I have the Judas Priest, but I remember all those being out back in the day. I never got the other ones.
Popular as hell,
Yeah, they were great.
I never played guitar really, but I bought them for the song lyrics. But I have an Ozzy Osbourne song book. I have a
Nice.
Black Sabbath song book.
I had that when I was a teenager.
Guitar. And last thing I brought out was the Bark at the Moon tour program.
Yep, I got one.
Nice.
That's
I
awesome.
mentioned it before on here. I didn't get to go to the tour because I was in a car that broke down on the way there.
Right, right.
That's
All right,
awesome.
let's see. Number 6, Undercover. I love this album. A lot of you guys have been like not really into covers.
Wow.
Depending on the band and the covers that they do. In this instance, him doing songs that he grew up with that turned him into a musician, and he did fantastic versions of them. I love it. I really love it. In my life, all the young dudes, we've all mentioned 20th Century Schizoid, man. Rocky Mountain Way is really, really great. All the songs on now, really, really great versions of them. And I think Ozzy's vocals do a really good job singing some of these songs, a little bit outside of his regular vocal range, let's say. Number 5, No More Tears. I love this album. For me, it was a return to Ozzy at the time because I had kind of gotten out of listening to Ozzy in the late 80s. I got the albums, I liked them, but I was more into thrash and death metal, so I wasn't really listening to it. In 91, this album came out. I got turned on to it when I was out in California at the Foundation Forum at Roadrunner Records. Ozzy was out there. They were really promoting it. And I picked up the album and I loved it. And I was like, wow, this is a really, really great record. So it's definitely one of my favorites. Let's see. Mama, I'm Coming Home. We all talked about Hellraiser, Road to Nowhere, No More Tears. Just a great album. Number 4, The Ultimate Sin. For me, it's a kind of nostalgic album. Again, I got the first 2 albums when they first came out. I knew them, but I was very young at the time. So I was experiencing a lot of metal. In 1986, I was 17. I was the perfect age for metal. I was into all the heavy shit, into the underground, into regular metal, into everything, MTV. So my life was all aspects of all types of metal. And in 1986, this freaking album and those videos that Christian mentioned were everywhere. It was every part of my life. Everywhere I went, I saw the videos, I heard the songs, and I liked them. So it just came with me. So when I listened to this album again, those songs, memories and old feelings just kept flooding back more than any other Ozzy album, strangely enough. Because it was 1986 and it was just, it's a great record too. Let's see here. Lightning Strikes, Shot in the Dark. Yeah, it's just an absolute fucking great album. And like I said, it brings back so many memories. Just make me real happy. Top 3 albums. These are the albums I really grew up with that shaped me. Just, I lived them every moment of my life in the early 80s. Number 3, Bark at the Moon. I love Bark at the Moon. When I first saw the video, first picked up the album, I loved the Wolfman look and the whole aspect. I love Jakey Lee and just a fucking great record. Center of Eternity, Waiting for Darkness, Rock and Roll Rebel, title track, just classic, fantastic songs. Number 2, of course, number 1 and number 2, we all talk about, most of us, the top albums, the first album. A lot of us flip-flop back and forth, and for years, I have flip-flopped back and forth. As I get older, I don't flip-flop as much, and I'm pretty much set in my number 2 and my number 1. Number 2 is Diary of a Madman. Again, fantastic album. Absolute pinnacle, the best. Diary of a Madman, my second favorite Ozzy song. But my number 1 album is Blizzard of Oz. The more I listen to it, the older I get, especially the last couple of weeks and the last week. Those 2 albums are fantastic. They're absolutely perfect in every way. I love every song. But Blizzard of Oz is just a little bit better in my eyes. The sound, the feel. Again, it's my first Ozzy album. That had something to do with it as well. Revelation, Mother Earth, my all-time absolute favorite Ozzy Osbourne song. Mr. Crowd, my third favorite Ozzy song. And I love every note on that album. And those 2 albums are pinnacle. But for me, Blizzard of Oz, number 1, will always be number 1. Rest in peace, Ozzy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ed.
I feel like I should have did a tie like fucking Tom did for those 2 albums because they're so neck and neck. It's like they're really one of the hardest. It's just like the Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, and Mob Rules to me. Like to pick one out of them 2, it's so fucking hard.
It's been hard for years, but lately, the last few years, I just gravitate more towards it's Blizzard for me. It's just Blizzard. But Diary is a real close second.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I'm going last.
Bring us
And
home.
my number 6 is going to be Black Rain. I fucking love this album. I really do. I've going back to it and revisiting it makes me love it even more. I have a special connection to this album because the one and only time I saw Ozzy was on this tour, and I listened to this album when it came out repeatedly. I remember a big gripe when this album came out was, oh, it sounds like a Black Label Society album with Ozzy singing. To me, that was absolutely fucking perfect. I love Black Label Society. I love Zakk Wylde. I love the fact that he wrote or co-wrote all these fucking tracks. And I just really love this album so much. Almighty Dollar, I really, really love that track.
Yes, sir.
It might be my favorite track on the album. It might be. The
Mine,
bass,
mine as well.
the bass line in it from Blasco is just so nasty, so dirty, so grungy. I love it. Going back to this one and re-listening to it lately, I really love I'm Here for You. That's I as a young dude going through a lot of shit, abuse and stuff, and getting into Ozzy, getting into Sabbath. Ozzy was always there for me. So it was a thing where like I always felt that like no matter what was going on, when shit was fucked up in my house, when shit was fucked up in my life, Ozzy was always here for me. So hearing that now, after he's gone, that song hits a lot harder now for me. I mean, it did when it came out, and I loved it when it came out, but right now, that song hits a lot harder and is just so fucking great and emotional. I love that track. And I love I Don't Want to Stop for a selfish reason, because if you watch the video for that song, Zakk Wylde is playing the guitar that he gave me when I met him in 2006. So that's pretty fucking cool.
Wow.
I only saw it on the same tour in 2007. It was the only time I saw Ozzy too.
Yeah, it's the only time it was Ozzy, Rob Zombie, and In This Moment. I missed In This Moment. Rob Zombie was okay. Ozzy was fucking great. It was just great to be under the same roof as him.
I had TNT, Black Label Society, and Ozzy afterwards.
Wait, who were the openers?
TNT and Black Label Society.
TNT and Black Labels.
Yeah.
That's a fucking cool opener.
In
Awesome.
Norway, of course.
Somebody gave me a tour shirt of that show that with Rob Zombie and In This Moment, and I have it. It's like a 3/4 shirt. I
Yeah.
can't fit into it, but I meant to pull it out for this episode. Now you just mentioned the tour, and I got a tour shirt for that.
Yeah, that was a great show. My number 5 is going to be No Rest for the Wicked. Zakk Wylde's debut. That's where my boy fucking busts out into the world of music, and just so good. So goddamn good. Miracle Man is one of my top favorites. It's the first time you ever hear Zakk playing guitar. Fantastic. That guitar solo in that is so goddamn good. Bloodbath in Paradise. Everybody's said that they love that one. I love breaking all the rules, the riffs, and make me want to fucking beat the shit out of somebody. I love that song. Number 4, Ultimate Sin. I love glam Ozzy. Just love glam Ozzy. So cool. I think Ralph might remember SATO, the Black Sabbath and Ozzy cover band. And that dude Jamie always was Ozzy from Ultimate Sin with the sequin robe and big poofy hair. I fucking saw them live so many times, and that was so fun. awesome. Yeah, title track I love. Secret Loser. As much as it's so cheesy 80s, I just love it because I love glam. It's my thing. And I love Shot in the Dark. I really love the version of Shot in the Dark on the Just Say Ozzy EP. I love the way that Zakk Wylde plays it. And I wish that was a full-length album instead of an EP. Every time I put that on, I'm disappointed by how short it is. And that's the first.
What she said.
Yeah, exactly. I'm disappointed by how short it is. So my girlfriend says every time I take it out. The Just Say Ozzy EP was the first thing I put on and fucking cranked up as soon as my brother fucking Mario from Reaper hit me up and told me Ozzy had passed. So I really love that. I really wish that was a full length. Number 3, Blizzard of Oz. Everybody loves it. We've all talked about it. Mr. Crowley is the first thing I ever heard from Ozzy solo, and it scared the shit out of me. I love it. Suicide Solution. And we had a dude on here that just said that Revelation and Steal Away is kind of whack. I don't know what the fuck that guy was on, but goddamn, that's my 2 favorite tracks on this record. Number 2, Osmosis. My favorite Ozzy album with Zakk Wylde on guitar. And it's because I love Zakk Wylde's guitar tone on that record so much. So just drenched in chorus, such a wet tone, and just such a cool, reverby fucking vibe going on with Zakk Wylde's guitar on that. I love it so much. I never get sick of it. Perry Mason, yeah, the lyrics are fucking whack, but that song is fantastic. Thunder Underground makes me want to punch my mother in the face. And See You on the Other Side is just, especially since Ozzy's gone now, that song means so much more. And number 1 for me is Diary of a Madman, Over the Mountain. The bass in that, so great. Bob Daisley fucking rules. Title track on there with Diary of a Madman, the guitar going on in that is just disgusting. It's nobody should have ever been able to play guitar that good. Randy Rhoads was fucking amazing. And Believer is probably my favorite track on that.
Yes, sir.
Whenever I plug in my bass to start practice or to start a show, I plug in my bass and I fucking go for sound check, and I always sound check with that opening bass line and Believer, that doom 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 doom. And the day Ozzy died, I fucking had Crucial Pain practice, and that's the first thing I played. I made sure as soon as I plugged in, I fucking cranked my amp up, and that's the first thing I played. Love that bass line. So fucking fantastic. Absolutely. Yeah, so there's my 6-1. This has been a fucking fantastic episode, guys. This has been an epic episode. We're going on almost 3 hours, and I love it. I love that we're almost 3 hours in. How do you guys feel? You hanging in? You fucking you're like
nice time for the EPs and the singles.
My last thing to say is, who thinks that Christian could be Bill Ward's son the way he looks right now? Like every time I see Christian right now, I just think, man, he's like a young Bill Ward. Like the Into the Void should hire him to make believe he's playing drums, and Tom should sit behind a curtain and play.
Next time Christian's going to show up with his hair
Christian
and
out there just going
pigtails.
like this.
Yeah. I'll make sure I'm not wearing my shirt next time.
Yeah, take your shirt off.
And your pigtails.
Gotta get the braids.
Red spandex and have some flowers in your
Oh
hair.
yeah, definitely gotta have the red long johns. Gotta have the red long johns.
Oh, I think I got a pair of red long johns like that, actually.
There you go. It's your natural instinct.
Don't
the red
do
long.
every
be
episode.
sure to wear
every
underwear
episode
so you don't have to borrow Ozzy's.
Yeah, there we go.
Or don't wear underwear. The chicks will fucking like that more.
They might, yeah.
So, guys, this has been a fucking great hang, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody fucking hanging out for 3 hours. This has been a blast. We just saw Ozzy get laid to rest today, and boy, what an emotional day. What an emotional week. What an emotional fucking probably rest of the year it's gonna be. I love you guys, man. I really do. I love hanging out here and fucking talking metal with you dudes and hanging. This is like being at the bar and fucking talking metal with all you dudes. And I really
And
love
this week it's therapy this week for us to
It
be
really
talking
is.
about Ozzy, and hopefully for the people watching, they feel like it's therapy for them a little bit, you know.
Absolutely.
When you said that, all I could think of was Ozzy singing on that freaking suicidal tendency song. Or we're not infectious groups. Therapy.
Therapy.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Great guest appearance. You know, that's another thing too, man. Ozzy had a lot of great guest appearances.
Yeah. He
A
just
lot of
shot the
great
monkey
guest
with Cold Chamber.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Shock the
Shock
monkey.
the Monkey was great. Fucking dude, Close My Eyes Forever with Lita Ford. That was good.
Larry Led Clones with Gary Moore. A song about all the Led Zeppelin clone bands that were coming out in the 80s.
Yeah, that was a fucking good one too, man.
Yeah. Speaking of Bill Ward.
Yeah.
The Bill Ward solo Ward 1, Ozzy sings a couple songs.
2 songs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jack's Land and
was
Bombers.
very good too.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And then
Ozzy
that
got
dude
around.
he did on Iommi's first solo record with all the different singers. That was fucking killer too.
I did an episode last night with this guy Al Horter. He had a disc where it was like all the Ozzy appearances. It had the Bill Ward one, and it was just all like a compilation. But it wasn't an official thing, of course. But somebody had put like a bootleg together with like all his appearances that were on other things, you know, that wouldn't be on like an Ozzy album. You know,
I made one of those years ago, just for some friends and stuff that was complied from various stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right. We're going to fucking take off. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank everybody for liking and subscribing. Go in the comments and rank the Ozzy albums on your own. How about that? We'd like to see your ranking of the Ozzy albums. That'd be pretty fucking cool.
And don't let me down, people.
Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you to Tony Dio. Thank you to Christian. Thank you to Miles, Ed Farshty, Ovi, Count Ralphus. We are out. See you in a week.
All aboard.